downtown Minneapolis, where tonight the city is abuzz. The NBA is back. Presented by Under Armour here at Target Center. The Minnesota Timberwolves beginning their 2021-2022 season against the Houston Rockets. It's also good to know we're going to be traveling this season. How about McDaniels? Give me that basketball.
It's been a point of emphasis for Jaden McDaniels is to get to the glass as Anthony Edwards punishes Kevin Porter Jr. at the rim.
And it's a 14-4 run by the Timberwolves. By the way, that officially the first basket of Jalen Green's NBA career. What Rockets fans are hoping are the first of many points for him. Meantime, Anthony Edwards gets his first triple of the season. Meantime, the Timberwolves are on pace to shoot about 50 free throws here tonight. They're already 10-12 at the line. Edwards on the attack, and it's can fly.
It's so great that these fans are able now to see Anthony Edwards and the fan reaction. You know, last year when this building was empty, playing into an empty arena, it was fun, but it wasn't as fun as it's going to be this year.
Oh, it's going to be so much fun watching all the fans wearing the Anthony Edwards jerseys. And Edwards answers back from downtown.
How about that? The footwork of Anthony Edwards to get squared up.
Towns.
Lefty hook that time. Nice pass by Ant again.
Edwards, the step back, and it's a two. We didn't get back behind the line all the way. The Timberwolves have 7 of 8 overall at home to start the season. They've got a chance to get this season off in a very positive fashion. And Anthony Edwards is getting off in a positive fashion, that is for sure. Gordon.
Just hounding people.
Wolves come up with it again. Edwards for McDaniels. And the sophomore connection sizzling in that exchange. Do you take the 75 greatest players ever in the sense of these are the best players to ever play the game? Because you probably take all 75 within the last 20 years because of the athleticism and where the game is. Or do you take the 75 most important players and what they've meant to the history of the game? And I think that is kind of what the list strongly reflects based upon the early returns.
Towns and Anthony Edwards kept that ball alive that time. Minnesota came down with another offensive rebound, leading that to Malik Beasley's 3.
Edwards out of the corner, buries the triple.
I'm telling you, the defensive concepts of releasing these players' athleticism and their instincts to get them to fly around has been a catalyst for a lot of things. As Daniel Tice looks like he travels, but again, another steal.
Beasley just knocks it away, finds Edwards wide open. Thank you, sir. I'll have another.
Anthony Edwards is telling Stephen Silas to call a timeout.
Edwards scoreless in the second half, no longer. First points for him since the intermission. Edwards up to steal and in coast to coast. And that is going to close it out on opening night. Anthony Edwards had 24 in the opening half, finished with 29. Towns had 30. Russell had 22. What a fun night for the Timberwolves. At one point they led by 35 points, and they win by 18, 124-106. Opening week presented by Under Armour continues here in downtown Minneapolis. The fans are still abuzz after the Timberwolves' impressive win on Wednesday night against the Houston Rockets. They'll look to make it 2 in a row to start the season here tonight. Timberwolves would like to get a lead and hold the lead. New Orleans, they've played 48 minutes of basketball so far this season. They have led for exactly 49 seconds in those 48 minutes thus far.
In a 3-point lead against the Philadelphia 76ers as Anthony Edwards knocks down his first triple.
Ingram on the attack. Says not on my watch, but Alexander Walker is there. And for just the second time this season, the Pelicans have a lead in a game. Edwards comes up with his own miss and feeds Towns. And that ends the 12-0 run by the Pels. Devontae Graham saved it right into the hands of Okogie.
Aggressive defense again.
And feeds Ant.
Flush that one home.
Towns, the 3.
So incredibly talented.
Edwards defers to Beverly. The 3 rattles in, out, and back in. Timberwolves 5 of 9 from outside the arc. Marshall.
Great contest.
That 3-2 strong. Beverly, the rebounds. Runs the floor. Edwards trailing the play. How did he finish that? Oh my goodness, Anthony Edwards. Russell was trying to sniff out the steal. Wolves still come up with the basketball. D'Lo had leaked out, and Edwards finds it for the stuff.
Throws it down. Wolves have 3 bona fide 20-point game scores.
Edwards, speaking of 3-alarm fires.
Edwards, Towns, Russell are all legit and bona fide. Oh, goodness.
Switches to the left hand, flexes the muscle.
The athleticism of this young man is breathtaking.
And the 3 a little bit too strong.
There's one.
Rebounds. Cat feeds Edwards, and with another finish.
I just think that this team is going to energize this city, man. I mean, seriously, like, how can you not want to be a part of this?
Ingram.
Ingram is very good at using the pump fake at the end of dribble drive penetration.
But how about a Kobe just standing the ground?
Staying down.
Forced him to give it up. Edwards, and Anthony Edwards. It is fun to see him attack, and even more fun to see him finish. Corner 3, that's no good. Beasley trying to beat Temple, and does.
A couple of key transition baskets from Luke Beasley in this game.
Dave, you were talking earlier about Carl watching videos of gorillas in the jungle before games, and he means it. He said he's trying to dominate this year with a killer mentality. He said, I'm thinking every night that I'm like a gorilla and I have to stomp anyone in my way. Pure domination from start to finish. That's Carl's mentality this season.
Yeah, how about Anthony Edwards? He's got that same mentality. He hits a key 3 right there.
What a game.
Norm battled. They kept it tight down to the end, but in the end, the Timberwolves finally able to put the Pelicans away, and Minnesota is 2-0 for a 3rd straight year. Well, if you liked Saturday night's defensive battle between the Timberwolves and Pelicans, strap yourself in. They're going to do it all over again tonight as the Timberwolves seek a 3-0 start for just the 4th time in franchise history. Well, no question. It was shocking 6 years ago, and it's still shocking today that Flip Saunders is no longer with us. Passed away 6 years ago today, and still his fingerprints all over this organization. You think about the night that they won the first pick in the draft lottery to get Karl Anthony Towns. He was the first #1 overall pick in Timberwolves franchise history, and then you get Anthony Edwards, who hits the 3 later on, and it's a tough day. Edwards trying to get things going out of that timeout, and Ants 5 straight points out of Edwards. Towns to 3.
They needed that.
Only the 8th 3 in 29 attempts tonight for the Timberwolves. Valanciunas.
Good defense. They just got to rebound the ball. Carl snaps it away.
10th rebound of the game for Towns. Ant on the other end. Oh! How did he get that one to go? He's starting to warm up, folks.
Man, that was like Houdini right there. Valanciunas just extending the arm. It should have been an offensive foul.
Timberwolves trying to get it to single digits, and they do. Edwards has exploded here in this quarter.
And all of a sudden, he's got 13.
Wolves on a 16-4 run. They force the turnover. Edwards. Yeah! Ants are venomous! And right now, Anthony Edwards is delivering some poison to the Pelicans. Edwards trying to keep it going, and the heat check proves still turned on to high. Corner 3 by Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy is a really good-looking rookie, man. I really like him. Watching him in the summer league is fantastic.
17th overall pick of the draft. Edwards. Nobody is more on fire right now than that man.
He's got 21. All of a sudden, he's leveled it up with Karl Anthony Towns.
Edwards attacking Hayes, and of course that one goes in as well. Towns back to Edwards, still looking for his first points of the 4th quarter. Tried to guide that one in, follows his own miss, and then connects on the second chance.
I like the fact that can't pop because Valanciunas is way back in the paint protecting the rim.
Russell fakes the three, gets some open space and able to connect.
Well, Ant was the main event tonight, though, wasn't he, in the second half? He really played a great second half.
Timberwolves fall to 2-1 on the season. Congratulations to Willie Green, who has his first career victory as an NBA head coach. 107-98 the final. Fiserv Forum and not so far away, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the site of tonight's Under Armour battle between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The border battle tonight will be the 63rd incarnation of the border battle.
You and I were talking about the fact that I've lived in a world since as a broadcaster where I don't know Minnesota trailing in this series.
Yes. Well, last time the Timberwolves trailed in this series was 1997. They won in April of 97 to draw even as Anthony Edwards gets them the first points of the night tonight. Edwards gets to the elbow and he connects, and the Timberwolves have not missed a shot to start this game.
Yes.
Russell for Edwards. Oh, nice find inside, and Vanderbilt able to cash it in.
You know, there was that series against Brooklyn where Bobby Portis didn't play much. People were kind of second-guessing Bud when he sat him down, and then when he put him back in the game against Brooklyn, he was so effective.
D'Lo, first miss tonight for Russell. The Timberwolves get the basketball back, though, and Edwards says, I'll take 2 free points. Edwards calls his own number, and it's a good decision. It's an 11-point advantage for the Wolves.
This is going to be fun to see Justin Robinson and Pat Beverly play against each other. That's a lot of energy.
Edwards stepped back at the free throw line.
Man, I mean, the processing that was going on in his brain as he came off that handoff.
D'Lo, Vanderbilt skies. Edwards a triple.
Unbelievable, Vando.
Wara, that is long. And Russell comes up with the basketball. Wolves can take the final shot. Instead, they're going to get a dunk from Towns, and you love that back. But you got to get back. You don't want the Bucks getting a bucket here to end this. Edwards on the attack off the glass. No, gets his own rebound, though. Kicks it out. The 3-ball by McDaniels is good.
Jaden had just taken one shot in the first half and missed it.
Middleton mishandled the basketball. Towns for Edwards. And Ant arrives with the flush. Edwards gets ahead of steam. And how about that finish by Edwards? And one. And Ant one for Edwards. 11-second difference between the clocks. Edwards sizing up Middleton, gets by him, gets the contact. What a time for an and one from Anthony Edwards.
Oh, man, Anthony Edwards. His legend's growing, baby. I mean, isolation. This game is unraveling. Chris Middleton hits an impossible shot against a great defender in Pat Beverly. The toe was on the line. Anthony Edwards takes the basketball and says, I want to go against Chris Middleton, and I'm going to make a strong move in isolation.
Karl-Anthony Towns, Giannis Antetokounmpo exchange some words. Cat wins for the first time in his NBA career in Milwaukee. Well, it was a not-so-magical finish for the Timberwolves the last time Orlando paid a visit to Target Center. Tonight, the Wolves look to avenge last year's heartbreaking loss and get back some of the early season good vibes this year that slipped away Saturday night against the Denver Nuggets. Edwards pulls up and hits, and it's a better start tonight for Ant. Towns, 3, yes.
The versatility of Karl-Anthony Towns.
Towns.
Wow.
Looked okay there.
Finishing through contact that time.
Set up off the bounce pass by Anthony Edwards. The kick into the corner for Okeke.
I like seeing the ball into Ant's hands, let him breeze it up the court.
Edwards, the attack and the finish.
Love it. And Ben's going to do a great job as Ant gets to the rim again.
Came to the air, and Jamal Mosley has seen enough.
Yes, sir.
Anthony. And the Timberwolves come up with the basketball. Edwards, his second board.
Excellent contest that time by Jaden McDaniels.
Edwards finally sees a three go down. Carl's third triple of this game. Anthony Edwards sniffs out the steal, goes coast to coast for the flush.
Just waiting for that. We're waiting for Anthony Edwards to make those plays.
Edwards gets underneath, and that was slippery on a hand. Towns feeds Edwards, and that was a beautifully executed two-man game between Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards. Edwards finds an extra gear and gets a finish.
Nice finish by Ant. Man, he's got elevated on that.
Edwards the kick out, Beasley corner three, that's short. Edwards second chance bucket though. Let's see if the Wolves can start getting to the line. Try and chip away at what is growing into a 9-point deficit thanks to a 24-7 Orlando run. Edwards drills the three.
He's very close to being on that line.
And Orlando, we're gonna finish this road trip with the victory here against the Timberwolves in downtown Minneapolis. Orlando, they have won 17 times that they've been in this building.
Well, the Timberwolves loved seeing 7 of their first 8 games scheduled to be played at home this season, but so far they haven't capitalized on that start, having won just 2 of their first 5 at Target Center, and now they must win tonight over visiting LA to stay over 500 on the season.
Anthony Edwards three, and that's a good sign.
Sir.
You saw those injured Clippers, Serge Ibaka and Marcus Morris. They are both practicing now. They are not on the trip, but there is a chance, Jim, we could see one or both of them when these teams meet in LA coming up on the 13th. And Anthony Edwards, a quick 5 points for the Wolves. Beverly, oh, that was beautiful. And Ant with the finish. Zubac. Oh, Anthony Edwards, get that shot out of here. Hartenstein underneath. And the Timberwolves get a stop.
Hartenstein makes this team because he's an excellent pocket pass decision maker.
Edwards, and Anthony Edwards instant offense as he checks back in for Minnesota, and he's now got 11. Edwards, Ants have a terrific sense of smell. He sniffed that one out and takes it to the cup for the bucket. Bledsoe, and Bledsoe took a look and saw Edwards, and then that altered his shot. So just the mere presence of Anthony Edwards got into the head of Bledsoe there. Edwards the feed, Nas the finish, and one for Minnesota. Towns back to Edwards.
We don't see Ant in post-up opportunities very often.
He passes out of it to Beasley for the triple. And Beasley was pointing at somebody in the direction of the Clippers bench after he hit that. Paul George came into play tonight, trailing Curry by 0.4 points for the NBA scoring lead. And Malik Beasley, he has found his stroke here tonight. Clippers, meantime, they're not letting up. They've made 11 of their last 13 shots. Beasley isn't going to let him get a shot that time. He's got Edwards trailing the play, and Ant with a finish.
Great timing of the pass back.
Edwards goes right down the middle. He was looking to stuff it. He had to alter the shot midair, and he finishes anyway.
Yeah, he really worked on his jumper, and early on in training camp, you could see the improvement. He was knocking down shots left and right.
Looking to make it 2 in a row. He's got 2 in a row. Beverly and Paul George, they no doubt went after it and practiced a number of times last season. Paul George wins that battle.
Get on the floor.
Karl Anthony Towns takes the basketball away. Edwards will wait for reinforcements. And then he'll pull up and hit it himself. Timberwolves back within a point.
One thing that phrase is Paul George gets an easy one there for Ivica Zubac. One thing that Anthony Edwards hates, he hates the phrase settling.
Well, I don't mind him shooting that three.
He hates the phrase settling because it connotates that he's not doing what he wants to do.
Can the Wolves find a way to climb out of this hole. And Anthony Edwards' three is a nice way to start it.
If they're going to do it, it's going to be because he goes off. Minnesota's also still trying to plug away and stay in the game.
Towns drills the three. By the way, I think our audience probably figured it out, but while you were breaking down that pick and roll,
it's an unsuccessful challenge.
It was an unsuccessful challenge, that's correct. Oh, Beverly strips Paul George. Edwards for Vanderbilt, and it's back to an 8-point game. Jackson and Beverly got tied up with Paul George, no whistle, and the Timberwolves with the ball. Edwards attacking Kennard. Edwards with a finish. And the Timberwolves have pulled back within 5. So the Clippers behind an 85% shooting third quarter. They pull away from the Timberwolves and win it 126-115, the final.
Walking in Memphis has not gone so smoothly for the Timberwolves over the last several years. Just 3-17 their last 20 trips here to the FedEx Forum. Can they buck that trend here tonight? We are sure hoping so on Bally Sports.
Anthony Edwards sniffs out the steal, leading the offensive charge. Beverly drills the three, so a nice 5-0 start here for Minnesota. First quarters have gone pretty much the way Chris Finch would like Jim this season. We talked about it on the broadcast the other night. The problem has been that they haven't been able to carry the momentum from first quarters into the second, third, and fourth. And hopefully tonight's the night that they can figure it out, but you'd like to see them take advantage of the good vibes here in this first quarter, extend this lead even more, and they get the corner three out of Edwards. It's a 9-2 run for the Wolves and a 9-point lead. Edwards.
Wow, how about that?
And he gets the roll finish.
It's a good play right there by Towns to give it up and make the easy next pass.
Edwards open look for threes. Got a second triple of the game in 3 tries.
Look at Chris Paul and the efficiency with which he plays. I mean, there are games where Chris Paul won't take a shot, Dave, until, I mean, he might get one shot in a quarter and can't get that to go. What a rebound by Josh Okogie. Chris Finch had only played 9 players up until this point.
Beverly with the scoop into the corner.
Oh, Josh Okogie created that extra possession.
Sure
Anthony
did.
Edwards is going to get the 3, but Okogie skied for that rebound.
Timberwolves have 4 offensive rebounds in this quarter and 7 second chance points in the quarter. And they've just added 2 points off turnovers.
Yeah, J.O. is infusing some energy here for Minnesota. Minnesota wanting to make John Morant a scorer, if you could imagine that, a shooter. His points per possession as a shooter is just over 1, but as a passer, Dave, it's 1.22. Ant's going to get an Ant 1 here.
On a Euro step move by Anthony Edwards.
John Morant has averaged 27 points in their wins, 22 in their losses.
Edwards, oh, how nifty was that out of Edwards?
If they're going to close this game out, Anthony Edwards has to have a great half. He's going to get called for a foul here.
Bain loses the handle. Anthony open floor. He's got Jones to beat. And Edwards skies for the flush. Edwards feeling it right now, and he drills the triple. 24 in the game for Edwards. Chris Finch tinkering with the lineup, as he did with the starting combination tonight, starting D'Lo and Beverly, and Towns connects on his second triple tonight. Edwards. And gets into the paint. And Anthony Edwards, I don't know how he got that off without traveling. That was pretty nice. Reed again will be the inbounder. Reed gets it to Towns, lets it fly from deep. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Cats land on their feet, and Towns somehow banks that in. Towns rebounded by Edwards. Beasley out of the corner. And that will do it. I mean, credit this Grizzly team. They battled back from, they faced long odds too. I mean, both these teams battled. The Timberwolves battled to get it into overtime. The Grizzlies battled to get it back to being a game after they were down double digits. Skyline at dusk may be stunning, but the Bay Area has not been beautiful to the Timberwolves, who've lost their last 9 trips here. Tonight, they hope the sun sets on that losing skid as they visit Chase Center. Karl-Anthony Towns back to Russell. Anthony Edwards gets to the elbow, pulls up and connects.
One good mid-range jump shot deserves another, I guess.
So it's 5-4 Wiggins over Edwards early on. Edwards finds an extra gear and kisses it off the glass. So
this is quite the duel.
Yeah. Towns going to work again on Mooney. Can't get it to drop. Taken away by Jared Vanderbilt. Draymond thought he got fouled. Edwards for the three. Beverly another offensive rebound for Minnesota. Ant that time does connect.
Second chance points is going to be one of the ways if Minnesota's going to win this basketball game. Last 7 games, they've played Oklahoma City twice. They did get beat by Memphis, but Charlotte's been scuffling. They played New Orleans and Houston.
Edwards another triple. Curry, and there's three-pointer number 1 of this game for Curry.
Just watching them on video, one of the areas where Steph Curry is so unbelievably talented is Anthony Edwards sifts his way to the rim there.
He had the dribble knocked away. He got it back anyway.
Again, attacking the
what a find.
Again, they're up, pressed up, and Draymond Green is asking Andrew Wiggins to get up into the ball more.
And that's going to be 18 fast break points for the Warriors in this first half. They average 18 for a game, lead the NBA in that category. Towns with a three. Edwards a deep triple and he connects.
Anthony Edwards for three. He's not making that a jump shot.
Anthony Edwards on the attack, and Ant has not been too shabby in this game either. He's got 25.
That's right. We were getting ready to prep for Golden State last year, and in a game here at Chase Center, Draymond Green was yelling at James Wiseman as Town knocks down the three. He was yelling at James Wiseman, already had a technical foul, and he got a technical foul, his second one, for yelling at James Wiseman.
Got to find a way to slow down the Warriors offense, though. They get a stop there. Edwards out in front, and Ant with the flush. Game which has been all Warriors pretty much since the early stages. Edwards on the attack, kicks it out. Russell for three, and the Timberwolves have it down to a 10-point deficit. Bielitsa dishes into the corner. Payton no. Beasley with a rebound. Edwards an open look for three, and he connects on the triple. And it's down to a single-digit margin. Curry. Edwards gets a hand on it. He's got Russell with him. Back to Edwards. And the alley-oop for Ant. And the Timberwolves have it back to a 4-point game.
Draymond Green being out of this game, he is the spiritual leader of this team. It was huge when he left.
Deep three there, no good. But how about the effort following his own miss by Jordan Poole?
It's not something you should necessarily do.
Edwards. Anthony Edwards showed off the handle and the finish, and he's got 37. Edwards looking for 40, and he's got a 40 spot. Second career 40-point game for Anthony Edwards. Towns for three. Beverly with a rebound. Edwards for a career high, and he's got a career high 43 for Ant. And he's talking smack to Wiggins. It's a 7-point game.
Minnesota has really done a great job of defending the three-point line. 27.8 is what the Warriors are shooting. On the season, they're first in the NBA, shooting 38 games as Ant gets that to go.
Another bucket for Ant, 45 in the game. Edwards wanted D'Lo to give it back to him. Instead, Russell will take a three-pointer. Edwards gets fouled. Ant's going to get a chance at 2 more free throws here, already with 46. Edwards able to get it to 47 for the night. It's the second most points by a player in the NBA this season, and it is the most points ever by an opponent here at Chase Center. It has been a busy week at Staples Center as both the Lakers and Clippers are in the middle of lengthy homestands. Last night, the Timberwolves sent the Lakers faithful home frustrated with a 24-point blowout. Another win here tonight will give Minnesota its first ever sweep of a two-game road trip to this arena. Batum out of the corner. Edwards taking on Paul George and doing it for profit. Chris Finch wanted an and one opportunity. Edwards able to get it to roll in, and Anthony Edwards 4 quick points after scoring only 9 all of last night.
He's been in attack mode. A lot of contact.
Towns comes out of there with the basketball. Sets up Edwards for the three, and the Timberwolves finally see one go down from outside the arc. Edwards gets into the paint, the attack, and the finish.
Talk about hang time.
Zubac's second chance bucket.
He's a load. He was holding Karl Anthony Towns off that time.
Edwards, he's in double figures.
And it's about 73% effective field goal percentage right now for the Clippers as well, as Pat Viv gets that one to go.
That quiets a 21-4 run for LA. Edwards gets by Paul George and able to get it to rattle in. Edwards gets left alone and says, all right, I'll take the three. And Zubac has a double-double. Second straight game with a double-double for him. He had one against Miami here on Thursday. McDaniels putting it on the deck, hangs in the air. Edwards coming in there and getting the basketball for the second chance bucket. Edwards on the attack and in on the finish. That was fantastic.
When he gets that 2-foot takeoff and he can just hang in the air for as long as he does, it's really hard to stop him.
So the Clippers, in his 7 straight wins, 3 of the 7 have come against the Timberwolves. And the final tonight in LA, 129-102.
Wednesday night in the Metro, where tonight the Timberwolves will tip off the first of 2 games to be played at Target Center over the next 24 hours. Up first in the home back-to-back is a Sacramento Kings team. The Wolves have beaten 5 of the last 6 times they have visited Minneapolis.
Off the Barnes miss, Edwards hurries it up the floor. Ants, oh, that was nice. Anthony Edwards. Wolves come out of there with the ball, though. Looking to get back in front. Edwards flies through the air with the greatest of ease.
That was a great pass by Pat Bev. Made it right on the money.
Edwards on the attack, and he finishes.
Did a nice job of moving that around Rashawn Holmes, too.
Edwards into the paint. Oh, Anthony Edwards. Ants have superhuman strength. Oh, Edwards sneaks free, and D'Lo finds him cutting.
The 2-hand package of dynamite right there.
Jim, you'll be happy to know that that box elder bug is still alive and well. He was just crawling on my pant leg.
It's aggressive.
And the ants are still thriving as well.
Got all kinds of bugs happening here.
Yep. Edwards, there we go. Finally, Ant sees one go down from outside. Russell's 3 will not drop. Vando for Edwards in the corner. Edwards gets it back, and Ant connects on his second 3 of the quarter.
Oh, that's great. Love it.
Edwards. Oh, what a move by Anthony Edwards. He had Metu on skates there.
Anthony Edwards. Shimizu Metu fell for the little hesitation move where he thought he was going to go up and shoot it. Anthony Edwards has taken on all these defensive assignments, whether it was Devin Booker last game or De'Aaron Fox here.
And Anthony Edwards wants these defensive assignments. Chris Finch was saying at shoot-around today, he asked to guard Devin Booker. Edwards, three, yes, sir!
It's just a different world when Ant is able to knock down those shots.
Edwards with the rejection on Fox.
Little patty cake out of bounds for Anthony Edwards.
Edwards.
He's got Rashawn Holmes on him. He wants to take him.
He'll take the three. He'll make the three. 26 now for Edwards. It ends the frustration of the 6-game home losing skid, and there still are 2 more games left on this homestand, including tomorrow night against San Antonio.
Well, one thing is for certain tonight at Target Center. One of these 2 teams will leave the arena boasting their first 3-game win streak of the season. The Timberwolves like their chances on being that team as they're coming off their largest win of the season, having beaten San Antonio by 25 here on Thursday night.
JJ gets the shot here, not to fall. He worked on that shot, that very shot pregame, Dave. His three-point shooting barrage before the game was pretty impressive.
I saw you chatting him up right
Oh, yeah.
D'Angelo Russell over Desmond Bain, able to get the bucket to go. Kyle Anderson, no. Anderson had a big game in Memphis as well. It was a big part of helping the Grizzlies get that win. Towns, Adams able to block the shot, and then both of them fall to the floor and ends up in Ant's hands, and Edwards cans the triple. And Edwards, the final Wolves starter to get into the scoring column here tonight.
Nice pass.
And great activity. Beverly and Edwards team up to cause that turnover. Edwards drills his second triple of the game.
There's Anthony Edwards with the active hands, which leads to the three-point shot. Beautiful job by Anthony Edwards. That's how you do it.
4 of 6 from three-point range. Do I hear 5 of 7? Yes, I do.
Flare action out of horn set, so double high post with a little in it.
Edwards. Step back and the bucket. And is dialed in early on here on this Saturday night.
Again, Anthony Edwards flaring off of Naz Reid this time instead of Karl Anthony Towns, leaving himself wide open.
Make it 5 for 5.
Zaire Williams was late. He was late over the top the first time, and then when Ant relocated, he was wide open on the Naz drive.
Tyus Jones slips, falls to the floor.
He doesn't do that very often. Turn it over.
Edwards, he can do that! Anthony Edwards! Ants can ride the wind, and he sure did there. Let's go back to Anthony Edwards. Watching him hit threes is fun, Jim, but watching him dunk is way more exciting.
He's a great 2-foot jumper, too. You know, there's a lot of guys that can jump well off 1 foot, and there's guys that can jump off 2 feet. Dominique Wilkins was a great 2-foot jumper, too. And you remember some of the great Neek dunks. It was off of 2 feet.
Anthony Edwards continuing.
Are Ants ambidextrous?
No, but they're omnivorous. John Moran. Can't get it to drop. Vanderbilt comes up with it. Edwards. And Ant with another stop.
Tyus is like, no, I'm getting out of this poster. I'm not even going to try to do this.
Make it 8 for 8 for Edwards from the field. Beverly left all alone and says, thank you very much for the daylight. 43 looks pretty good for the Timberwolves. And Mike Greenbaum's telling me this is it, Jim.
Wow.
This is the largest margin of victory in the league this year. Timberwolves a 43-point win. Well, one look at the records, and it'd be easy for Timberwolves fans to believe tonight's game on the Bayou is one the Wolves should win, which is exactly what the LA Clippers thought when they visited New Orleans on Friday night, and it didn't turn out that way. There are no off nights in the NBA, so the Wolves had best be ready to play here tonight in New Orleans. Edwards pulls down his second rebound.
We can ask
Edwards.
Somebody. Nice
Ant
move.
kisses it in. It's an Ant 1 here in New Orleans.
In and out. Got in and got out. It's great.
Edwards Kind of surprised Edwards didn't take that three, but the Wolves get a couple of points out of Towns anyway.
What a catch by Carl.
Still time, but the Wolves have to hurry. Russell gets it to Towns. Can't the attack, no whistle. Edwards right there for the rebound and the putback at the buzzer, though. Edwards, the three over Lewis, and Ant finally sees one go through.
Wolves were 1 of 19 in the half before that make.
Ingram. Alexander Walker can't get it to drop. Beverly pulls down the rebound. Edwards from straight away. And Ant saw one go in, and now he's had two go in.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, he's filling it now.
Yeah, he's got the stroke. And one gifted young man.
Edwards on the attack, and Anthony Edwards leaving the fans with one last highlight.
What a night here to come and get a win on the road against a struggling New Orleans Pelicans team, Dave, but still, it's another great win nonetheless.
Well, the last time the Timberwolves amassed a 5-game win streak, a guy named Jimmy Butler was calling Minnesota home. Tonight, the Wolves will take the hardwood, seeking their first post-Jimmy quintet of wins, with Butler himself standing in the way. Should be a fun one, with a near-capacity crowd expected here in Minneapolis on Thanksgiving Eve.
Jimmy Butler coming to trap.
Edwards gets three right back for Minnesota.
That's big. Towns made the right play. Jimmy Butler came to trap.
Russell nearly lost the basketball. Edwards gets a step on Tucker. How did Anthony Edwards do that? Edwards able to get around Adebayo.
D'Lo given and room to operate. You see the collapsing defense of Miami.
Nas, no. Edwards able to find the rebound and drill it. And Miami is going to use a timeout as the Timberwolves have gone back in front here. Nas fell down. The Timberwolves fortunate to be able to get the basketball back. Edwards attacking and finishing. And an Ant one opportunity. The Wolves needed that the worst way. Edwards three, yes. Edwards taking the basketball away. He's got Vanderbilt, and Edwards coast to coast.
Got to get back.
Russell on the baseline, no. Vanderbilt, another offensive rebound.
And he's just done a nice job of relaying the basketball. Whether it's been in an opening on the floor, he's been just making perfect reads.
And Edwards set all that up with the drive. He drew the defense, his first assist tonight. And the foul is going to send Vanderbilt to the line with a chance for a three-point play. So both Bam and Towns with 3 fouls apiece, and Edwards with 3 more points. 20 in the game for Ant. Timberwolves turn it over off the inbounds. Russell thankfully gets it back for Minnesota. Edwards out in front of everybody. Anthony Edwards turning on the Jets for that bucket.
Getting some energy in this building.
Out of the corner, Edwards three. And we are tied.
I love it how smart Vanderbilt is.
Edwards, step back, three for the tie, and we have a brand new game. Look at Anthony Edwards. The crowd reacting to him. He's reacting to the crowd.
2 minutes remaining, 2 minutes.
Timberwolves looking for the lead. Beasley puts him in front for the first time since the intermission. Butler for Robinson. And Edwards pulls down his 10th rebound. He's got a double-double.
Big time rebound by Ant there. PJ Tucker in there challenging.
Torian Prince, that is deep, and it's good. That one should have been worth 4 from where he shot it, but they'll take the 3 and back on top by 2.
Oh, that was really nice.
Russell hits it with 1.2.
Peel action, stripped by Towns.
Edwards for Beasley, corner 3. Timberwolves, a 6-0 run. And Eric Spoelstra has to use a timeout. Edwards, 3, yes!
Unreal.
He's doing it all tonight. Robinson contested by McDaniels, and Towns comes up with the rebound. Russell feeding Edwards. Back to Russell, open look, the triple, and it's good. Edwards for a three, that is short. Rebounds. The Heat do eventually come up with it. Edwards says, give me back the basketball, and he puts it up and in. The Timberwolves have their first 5-game win streak since 2018, which, oh yeah, by the way, that was the last time this team has been to the playoffs. They're back to 500 on the season. They're 500 now at home.
Well, it was just 23 hours ago the Timberwolves were tipping things off in Charlotte. So tonight's game in Philly might be the most challenging of the season, playing on short rest in a city where Minnesota has not won since before Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns were even in the NBA. Jim, Seth Curry, for all the news that Steph and all the headlines he deservedly gets, Seth is actually the better three-point shooter. He's one full,
define better.
Well, in terms of percentage, he's the more accurate three-point shooter in terms of percentage. How about that?
I'm not even sure that that's even a true statement, even though the percentage might say. I'd still, I mean, come on.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody, if you could choose between Steph and Seth to take a shot to win the game, we all knew everybody's picking. Anthony Edwards, no. But then he follows it. He's fed by Prince for the stuff.
The oohs and ahs here at Wells Fargo Center.
Hey! How about that?
Nice attack.
I think Timberwolves fans are Anthony Edwards fans through and through, as Ants having a nice bounce-back start here tonight.
As Anthony Edwards knocks that down. Giannis is number 1 at 10.1 free throw attempts per game. I think it's interesting that they go to Balmero instead of Jordan McLaughlin, as Ant gets another tough inside hoop to go.
I would say that was more than tough. That was impressive. Oh,
Anthony Edwards sniffed out the steal here. Look out.
Anthony Edwards. That was fun. That was fun.
He rocked the bell on that one. Excellent timing. The ball reversal just sniffed that out. You gotta love it. I mean, that is just unbelievable.
Danny Green unable to connect. Timberwolves looking to push the lead even further north. Towns back for Edwards, gets it right back to Cat. 3-ball corner pocket is good. Actually more like the side pocket above the break, but how about that? Karl Anthony Towns, James, 6 of 6 now from the field.
Naz Reid takes over for Karl Anthony Towns, who has 15 points here in the first quarter already.
Edwards gives it up to McDaniels, and Jaden able to get the baseline drive to go. Seth Curry rattles out. Timberwolves dodging some bullets here. Edwards gets up ahead of steam and ain't able to get a finish. Towns trying to get it back, and he does. Third triple tonight for Cat. Maxey. Floater is short. Timberwolves get a big rebound out of D'Lo ahead to Edwards.
That's the way to pull it out. Did not have numbers.
And then he gets into the corner for the triple.
Oh, that's big. That was so smart by Anthony Edwards.
7 seconds. Edwards with 4 seconds. Ant pulls up for 3. And we're going to go to overtime. Edwards for Reed out of the corner. 3, and Naz puts the Wolves back in front. Russell for 3, and D'Lo puts the Wolves in front. The only downside is there's 4.7 left. Maxey and McDaniels was trying to foul, and they finally do call the foul at midcourt. If he can miss the first for the Timberwolves, that changes everything. But he makes the first. Maxey off the miss, and the tap up and in does happen. Are you kidding? Edwards from midcourt for the win. We're going to double overtime. What a game. Oh, man. Maxey, and Russell was ready for it. D'Lo, Taurean Prince in traffic, rattles it in. Minnesota in front. And how about the play
of D'Angelo Russell. He knew they were going to try to get it back to Embiid. He was waiting on it. He took it away, and the Wolves are in front. They finally do get it to Embiid. Embiid gets it away, and it's partially blocked, and the losing skid is over.
Unbelievable.
8 was enough for the Wolves. They say no mas, and they're leaving Philadelphia finally with a win in their series.
Wow.
Well, fresh off their double OT thriller in Philly, the Timberwolves return home tonight looking to get back over 500 on the season. Standing in their way, an Indiana Pacers team that has won the last 5 meetings in this series.
Again, bringing the double team. They are not going to let Karl Anthony Towns beat them, and they know how dominant he is. So other guys have to step up and make plays.
Kogi fighting for the basketball, comes back up with it. Edwards in traffic, kisses it off and in.
This has got to be a game that man right there has a big night.
Edwards thought about it, instead puts it on the deck, hangs in the air, and finishes with the greatest of ease.
That's how you glide to the hoop right there.
Russell gets the 3 right back for Minnesota.
D'Angelo is 4-9. He's got 12 points to lead all scorers in this game. Sabonis, the last time he was here, as Minnesota gets the rebound.
Towns, I think he was expecting Edwards to shoot it. He looked a little bit surprised to get the basketball back, but he's able to nail the jumper anyway.
4-point trip for Minnesota. Nice job by D'Angelo to make Sabonis reload that time. Then Torian Prince gets the rebound. Anthony Edwards really competed that last possession defensively too with Karis LeVert.
Edwards feeding Towns.
Anthony Edwards is doing other things besides scoring.
Towns on Batase, and he's able to connect.
8 of 10 for Karl Anthony Towns in the painted area. He's been fantastic down low.
Duarte leaves it short. Edwards pokes the basketball free. Numbers for the Timberwolves. Edwards for Towns on the alley-oop. Edwards finally sees a 3 go through, his first of the game. And the Timberwolves have it back to just a 1-point contest. Anthony Edwards. Look out! Edwards coast to coast off the steal. Ants can't sting. Edwards knocks it away. He's got Prince with it. Prince back to Ants. Anthony Edwards putting on a show right now. Edwards knocked it free again.
What energy from Anthony Edwards.
He was just saving it, Jim.
Well, he's been giving you defensive energy. He really has been defending at a high level. You go back and watch the video in this game, Dave. He's been fantastic defensively.
He's got 16 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. Looking for 3 more points, and he's got 3 more points.
The confidence of this kid, man. It's unbelievable.
Edwards sees an opening. Anthony Edwards right down the middle.
Rick Carlisle's going to call timeout.
Holiday gets to 3 up, misses everything, and that's all she wrote. And I don't know if they're going to count that last bucket. They are. And that's going to end it 100-98, the final. Chris Finch, she'll send D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Torian Prince, Jared Vanderbilt, and Karl Anthony Towns. Both Edwards and Vanderbilt were questionable coming into the game tonight as they had flu-like symptoms, but thankfully they are both here. Edwards, what a nice pass to Towns, and Gafford has his 2nd block already. He had an 8-block game earlier this season, the most in the NBA this year in a single game by anybody.
He ain't getting in there, returning the favor.
Edwards for 3, and the Timberwolves finally see a triple go down. They were held to single-digit makes from outside the arc for the first time all season in the win against Indiana on Monday night. Dinwiddie into the corner for Kuzma. It is a completely new-look team here in D.C. Bradley Beal, obviously the one holdover of note. Torian Prince, and now the Timberwolves have hit a couple of 3s.
The Gafford trade, too, was the Daniel Tice exchange. All of that happened at the same time. So Tice went to Chicago. Gafford came here.
Jim, going back to Balmaro, I mean, clearly it'll be harder to get minutes when the Timberwolves are fully healthy again, but if he gives Chris Finch a reason to keep him in the lineup, then that's positive for him. How about that? Anthony Edwards showing that He's still got the Jets, even if he's feeling a little under the weather. Edwards gets a little space and able to drill the step-back jumper.
But Joseph Blair he was one of the only coaches that we actually saw after games. There's another block on Towns there on the jump shot.
Edwards open for three, and it connects from downtown. Dinwiddie leaves it short. Towns adds to his rebound total.
Spencer Dinwiddie does not have a field goal in this game. Has not scored.
Towns looking for three, has a three. Second triple tonight for Cat. He's up to 26. Edwards for the tie.
Man, I love that Chris Finch calls Anthony Edwards a home run hitter.
Edwards for three, and Ant answers right back. So the Washington Wizards, they are going to continue to be a tough out here at home. They improved to 8-2 on their home floor.
It's Friday Night Live from Barclays Center tonight. The Eastern Conference Player of the Month, Kevin Durant, back in action. And look at this. Perfect symmetry. Kevin Durant t-shirt night. It's a lot of XLs handed out to the first 10,000 fans in attendance. The Nets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's the first of two meetings, and we've got it for you right here on Yes. Edwards, drive and kick. Reed just made a three and makes another.
And look, the Nets have to do a better job of getting back out there.
Bolmaro on a handoff for Edwards. Give it up. Reed powers in and finishes as he took a shot to the kisser.
They have a ton of guys that are great in transition. And look, again, another steal, another deflection.
This time it's Edwards getting a piece of it. 6 turnovers now. Lob it up. Vanderbilt soaring through the air for the flush. The first net 3 of the night. Now 1 of 7. Durant getting ready to check in. It's Edwards. Explosive abilities. Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, just so physically gifted.
Durant off balance, doesn't go. He got tied up there with Bembry. Both go down. 5 on 3. Oh! Anthony Edwards! That's a man's jam!
Watch Anthony Edwards, my goodness. I mean, he just cranks this back. The amount of power, my goodness.
Look at D'Angelo Russell's face.
Oh!
Aldridge off. Bembry taps the ball upstairs, claimed by Bolmaro. Minnesota's got a 3-point lead. Bolmaro, spin. Doesn't go, follow, no. Vanderbilt clears. Edwards, count it. And now he's putting on a show. The Ant-Man is huge. Corner, Mills, side rim. Vanderbilt clears. Edwards, he traveled, no call. Reed, the jumper, it goes. He's not even hitting rim on these 3-pointers. All nylon for Naz Reed. 15 points for Kevin Durant. Vanderbilt has 10 points, 11 rebounds. Edwards to the cup.
Yeah, I mean, just every time down the floor, there is no resistance, just wide open lanes.
Jumper, Cam Thomas, no. Nets lead by 5. Minnesota shooting 43% from the field. Edwards makes his move, gets inside for 2. Impressive. 2 bad turnovers by Minnesota. The Nets give it back. Edwards lays it in. 2-point lead, 101-99. Edwards penetrates Aldridge there defensively, and Edwards still finishes as he protects himself around the basket. Time expires, and the Nets get it done.
Welcome to downtown Minneapolis, where tonight something has to give at Target Center. Both the Timberwolves and Hawks have each lost their last 2 games, but Minnesota's won 5 straight at home, and Atlanta has won 3 straight on the road.
Luwawu Cabarro, Edwards got a piece of it, and it's a shot clock violation. Nice way to start the game for the Wolves. Capella, of course, last time he was in this building, he had the triple-double along with 10 blocks as part of that night.
No doubt. And one thing he's going to do is he's going to offensive rebound the basketball as Anthony Edwards knocks down the wall 2 there. It's one of the reasons why Ant is handling a bunch here is that you got to respect Anthony Edwards, his shot and his ability to get to the rim.
Sets it up to Taurean Prince, and Taurean able to knock down the triple.
That's big for the confidence of Taurean Prince.
Gallinari. Wolves get the stop, but they got to get the offense on track. They're just 6 of 18 from the field, and that will certainly help Edwards find in another gear.
Wilson has missed 5 layups at the rim. Anthony had missed a couple of them.
Timberwolves get a stop. Edwards, bounce pass for Naz Reid, and the Wolves get a finish.
Just got to weather the storm here.
Luwawu Cabarrot. Thankfully, Atlanta has gone cold from outside the arc. They've missed 7 straight 3-point attempts. Edwards for 3.
Yeah, they need more of that.
Edwards. Oh, the degree of difficulty on that for Ant was off the charts. Herder has it poked away. Trae Young, long 2, no. And we're going to loose ball foul. I believe it's going to be on Edwards. No, they're going to call it on Herder.
Great contest by Towns, last possession defensively, and then a really nice screen by J-Mac there to get him open for a wide open 3.
McLaughlin is able to stay in front, but Luwawu Cabarrot shoots it over him.
20 points for Timothy Luwawu Cabarrot.
His season high was 12 coming into this game. Oh, Edwards hangs in the air and gets the finish. Utah Jazz coming in here. They're 8-2 of their last 10. They've won 4 straight. Minnesota did sweep the season series 3-0 last year. And Beasley connects out of the corner. And with 23 made threes tonight, the Hawks have tied their all-time franchise record as a team. Edwards got an open look, and Ant able to knock it down. Timberwolves come up with the basketball. Edwards finds Beasley, escape dribble in the corner for 3. And the Timberwolves are back within 10. Minnesota 6 of 8 from downtown in this quarter. A 12-3 run. Trae Young, 26 now for him. Towns, 3 more for Cat. It's a 10-point game. The clock is not running right now. Both clocks stopped momentarily. They restarted them. I mean, that doesn't hurt the Timberwolves' cause. Maybe they could put a couple of minutes back on. Would be nice. Now, the final score is not going to really look as lopsided as this game truly was, though. Atlanta dominated this from the get-go. 25 made threes, a franchise record for the Atlanta Hawks. Well, you have to go back to 2002 to find the last time the Timberwolves won at least 4 straight games in their season series with Utah. That's what the Timberwolves are poised to do tonight, but it won't be easy against a Jazz team that has won 4 straight and 8 of its last 10 games.
Anthony Edwards sniffs out the Mike Conley pass and hammers it home with 2 hands.
Eviscerates the rim. Anthony Edwards, Jim, he leads the NBA in fast break scoring, 4.3 points per game in transition. Prince out of the corner, and Taurean answers right back.
It'd be really nice to see some of Minnesota's shooters get up to the league average.
Bogdanovich out of the corner, that won't go.
Utah is #1 in the NBA in 3-pointers made in the first 10 seconds of the shot clock. They get them up early in transition.
Edwards, and Ant connects from downtown. So the Timberwolves, they've hit on 10 of 14 shots to start this game, 71%. Utah's 7 of 10, 70%.
Great rebound by Ant. Royce O'Neal crashing from that left corner.
Edwards, step back on Rudy Gay, and he drills it. And the Timberwolves, a 9-zip run. Edwards drills the triple, and the Timberwolves are back in front.
This is an Ant game tonight. I've been a big fan of Bogdanovich.
As Edwards answers right back. Bogdanovich, not to be confused with Bogdanovich. Right. Although both are spelled almost, if not exactly, identically. And Edwards says, okay, fine, I'll just go ahead and hit along 2. Mitchell, the crossover, and the finish.
I don't think he gets enough credit for being as good a finisher he is. He's one of the best in the league.
He's got 21 now in the game.
And how about Edwards? So the National Geographic show continues here in the third quarter.
Jim, I had a nice conversation with him before the game tonight, talking about Australia winning the bronze medal in the Olympics, and it was the first time that they've ever won an Olympic medal.
Ant puts it up for McDaniels. Nice execution there.
Edwards, Beasley, and Malik connects on the three. And the Jazz are going to head to Philadelphia, 17-7 on the season. Well, Moda Center has been a house of horrors for most of the NBA over the years, but especially so for the Timberwolves, who have just 2 wins here in their last 29 games. As tonight, they turn that trend around. Anthony Simons on for the Blazers and promptly into the scoring column. It's a Blazer team that has undergone some pretty big changes since the last time the Timberwolves saw them. Edwards with the 3, so 5 quick points for Ant. Edwards, and how about that? He used Nance's head as a gun sight on that one, Jim Peterson. Edwards attacks, Ant able to take the contact, chance for an Ant 1. Vanderbilt takes it away from Nurkic, ahead to Beverly. He's got Edwards trailing the play, and Ant lays it in. Edwards kicks it back for Vanderbilt, and 2 games in a row with a triple for Vando. Nurkic back to Lillard, back to Nurkic.
Excellent defensive possessions here, back-to-back by Minnesota.
Edwards on the attack, Ant on the finish. Edwards gets to the rim, Ant with a finish. Edwards with the rebound. This 4-point deficit, the largest Minnesota has faced tonight. Ant, that was impressive.
That was a nice attack on Ben McLemore right there.
Simons, Covington.
Unbelievable contest by D'Lo.
And Vanderbilt comes down with his 6th rebound.
D'Angelo Russell has played so good in this game.
Edwards for Beverly. And Chauncey Billups has to use a timeout. The Timberwolves have pushed the lead back to 6. Simons, deep 3, no good. And that will close it out. The Timberwolves' 8-game stretch of futility in Portland comes to an end with a gritty win over a Blazers team that needed this one every bit as bad as Minnesota.
Chilly 32-degree night in the Mile High. Great to be back inside the warm and friendly confines of Ball Arena. We're getting ready for the Denver Nuggets and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now top to Jokic, gets a screen, half screen, and the pass is thrown away. And the run out is good for Jared Vanderbilt. So slow start for the Nuggets, who trail 7-2. 3 to shoot, Jokic for 3. Needs a bank or a bounce, didn't get it, and now D'Angelo Russell with it. Towns, pass it out, Edwards for 3. And Minnesota hot shooting early. And timeout taken by the Denver Nuggets. Najee for 3. That's way off the mark. It's an air ball. Edwards. That's good. Wow. 29-13 now. Shoot 42 per game. They make 14, so they're not great at making threes, but when they do, they shoot enough to really put you in a bad position, and the Nuggets defense is getting ripped here. Howard, great pass, and Jokic floats it home.
And you know what's great about that play is Marcus Howard has been making his threes at a pretty consistent clip lately, and so the Timberwolves actually went to double team him almost. That gave Jokic the open look.
And Minnesota red hot from beyond the arc.
Nuggets Nation has deemed it Yokmas, like Christmas, Merry Yokmas.
Okay.
December 15th. So that's how we wish each other. That's how we celebrate and observe the holiday.
Now Anthony Edwards takes a contested 3, knocks it in. Wow, Anthony Edwards, he's having a first half, folks. 17 points. Now Howard in the lane,
And Edwards with the block shot. Got to slow down Edwards too. Nuggets doing some switching on the perimeter. Edwards at the baseline, got it. Very patient for a young player, isn't he? Nuggets try to get it out, and Jokic threw it away. And the lay-in is good. Jokic trying to run it up on the fast break, and Vanderbilt able to get the Edwards. Wants to square up. He draws Jeff Green now. He does, and he knocks it in. You know, he's only shooting 34%, at least up to this game. Now Beasley trying to get along the baseline. Corner three, and another three-pointer made by Anthony Edwards. So Edwards has made 7 of 9 threes. He's got 27 points. Now Edwards against Facu. Edwards coming in, lay it up and in. Too big, too strong. Russell 16, 7, and 7. Been a good performance by Minnesota. Now Edwards over the top, and he hits another. Well, Anthony Edwards, he had a 48-point game earlier this season. Look at this 1-2 punch, 64 points.
We previewed this at the beginning of the game and said these two are really what drives this Minnesota Timberwolves team, and tonight they have done just that. I think starting off the game the way that they did, built their confidence, they got going, and to be honest, it was a little bit of a case of not knowing personnel as well as you should, because
oh my gosh,
Edwards, that step back right there. Anthony
Edwards on fire. 35 for the second-year man. 120 to 101. Edwards still in, still firing, and he knocks in another one. Wow. So Anthony Edwards has made 10 threes in 13 attempts. He's got 38 points. Nuggets two-game win streak at San Antonio Wizards comes to an end.
Well, forget the Warriors, Suns, or anybody else. The hottest team in the NBA is the Utah Jazz. Winners of 5 straight and 13 of their last 15, including a win over the Timberwolves right here in picturesque Salt Lake City just 8 nights ago. Utah's offense has been very on track against the Wolves so far this year in the first couple of meetings. Timberwolves forced a turnover. The offensive rating for the Jazz in the first 2 games, 128.2. The offensive rating for Anthony Edwards since coming back from protocols is sky high. By the way, Greg Monroe is on that 10-day contract, but Jim, the Timberwolves, before all the protocol stuff hit, they only had 16 players, so they do have an open roster spot if they did want to sign Monroe for the season. Well, I'm talking about with the two-way guys as well.
Yeah.
They had 14 full-time roster guys and 2 two-way guys.
Yeah, Minnesota's the fouls are piled up, as you were saying, as Malik Beasley knocks down his second triple. Make them have to match up 5-on-5 in transition.
Edwards banks it home. Anthony Edwards with 6 points now in the game. How about that pass from Ant? Uses the bounce pass to set up Knight.
Malik Beasley had a whale of a game the last time these two teams met here in Utah. 13 of 25, 7 of 16 from outside the arc. Ant knocks that one down.
First triple of the game for Edwards. Edwards. Back-to-back triples for Anthony Edwards. And Quinn Snyder wants to talk it over. The Timberwolves with a little bit of momentum here. They get it back to a 5-point game. Edwards drills another 3, so the Timberwolves back-to-back threes to start the third quarter. Edwards, showing off the handle and the quicks, and Ant up to 19 in the game.
Doing it again.
Edwards taking out O'Neal. And Ant, how did he do that? Anthony Edwards gets it back to just a 2-point game. Edwards from downtown, and Ant drills it.
Man, talk about a screen assist. Greg Monroe just laid the lumber that time and got Anthony Edwards a wide open shot.
The Jazz are going to move to 3-0 on the season against the Wolves. They're going to remain unbeaten in the division, by the way. A frigid Sunday night in the Twin Cities where the temperature is sub-zero, a fact that made Jim Peterson's complaints about it being a bit chilly today here in Southern California fall like deaf ears. We do wish you were here in person, but we're sure glad you're tuned in here on Valley Sports. LeBron able to find Monk on the cut for the finish.
You'll see Minnesota push just like this after makes. So that's what I'm talking about right there. And make some misses, get it back in bounds quickly, and push it at this Laker team.
Edwards. Oh, how about that? And finds an extra gear and then able to finish on the reverse. Edwards. Oh, finds an opening to get it to Nas. That was great court awareness there by Ant.
Ant blocks Russell Westbrook at the rim.
Taurean Prince, his first action since coming out of the protocols, and he's unable to get it to go. He was available the last couple of games. Edwards, as the Timberwolves turn the Lakers over in midcourt, and Ant gets an easy bucket, half dozen now for him. Edwards, another beautiful dime, and Reed with the finish.
Goodness,
and the attack and the finish.
That should have been an and one. There was a lot of contact there, but Ant just flew through the air. It's all about, you know, being in balance. And Malik Beasley was right there. I mean, again, stack pick and roll.
Edwards and Ant able to kiss it off and in. Still time for the Lakers to get away a shot, though.
Jaden doing a nice job of keeping his hands in here, so LeBron's not going to be able to sweep through and draw the foul.
Jaden has 5 fouls, so he's got to be awfully careful, and the Wolves able to get the stop. Beasley flares out to the corner. Can't hit on the three. Ant gets an offensive rebound. Beasley a second chance three, and this time it goes down. Back to a 1-point game. Edwards, a strong take and make. Edwards takes it strong to the rack.
Anthony Edwards.
So the Timberwolves, they had a lot of chances, and they just could not cash them in when it counted most, as the Lakers get back to 500 on the season. Well, for the 9th time in franchise history and 2nd time this season, the Timberwolves are finishing a back-to-back SoCal set against the NBA's LA contingent and trying to salvage a victory in this, their 4th and final regular season meeting against the LA Clippers. Although, going back to Durant, he didn't help the Nets any when he did. When Brian Shaw had his team foul up 3 late, with about 8 seconds to go, is Edwards able to attack and finish. KD went to the line and he missed the first, so he didn't even really give his team an option of maybe miss the second on purpose and try to get a rebound. Edwards nearly turns it over, able to get up a tough shot and finish. So a nice start here for Anthony Edwards.
That was 9.9 on degree of difficulty right there, what he just did.
Edwards, and Ant drills the three. First three-point attempt for Edwards, who's 3 of 3 from the field in this game with 7 points.
Gotta like that. You gotta like the confidence that Jaden's playing with right now.
Amir Coffey, and he's able to hit the mid-range. First bucket tonight for the Minnesota native. Anthony Edwards, and the Timberwolves are starting to find their groove from outside the arc. 7 of 17 tonight.
As Anthony Edwards gets the lefty layup to go, what a nice jet to the basket that was over the top of Ibaka. I can tell you that.
We're going to pull it up.
Hour and 56. 16 free throw attempts for Minnesota, just 9 for the Clippers.
Yeah, so even less so far here tonight. And the three-pointer is going to push the lead for the Wolves back up to 18. Edwards, an open look from 3, and Anthony Edwards has his 4th triple of the game.
Nice cut that time by Ant. I just think it's the next frontier for Anthony Edwards.
Edwards over Ennis, drills the triple, his 5th tonight. Edwards lays it off the glass and in.
Quick shot him that time. And with the left hand, too, off the glass.
Edwards. Rebounded by Winslow. And then Edwards gets it right back, gets up ahead of steam, and Edwards takes it the distance.
Boy, did he put the Jets on that time.
Minnesota led by 27, and they do salvage a win in the season series against the Clippers. And they take it tonight, 122 to 104. Well, Monday night, the Timberwolves ended a 6-game losing skid in their series against the LA Clippers. Tonight, they hope to vanquish another streak that's gone on too long, a 4-game home skid against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Jim, this is a big stretch for the Wolves. Edwards, the attack and the finish to get this started.
Man, do I love that ATO right there. I mean, that is a fantastic play design right there to get him on the move. Anthony Edwards this time with the step back.
Rattles out. Giddy comes up with the rebound and then throws it right into the hands of Edwards. And man, for a second I thought Ant was going to put Giddy on a poster.
That was close. You see the attack by Giddy, and that's why they have Vanderbilt on him. The length that Josh Giddy has gives him an advantage as a setting the table playmaker.
Towns the extra pass. Russell. Timberwolves working around the outside. Beverly straight away 3.
One of the things that Minnesota's done over this past stretch of 9 games is that they've kind of set some high records in terms of being able to move the basketball.
Williams, he can't connect. Towns able to save it.
Unreal. The pace of this game is breakneck.
Oh, Vanderbilt, what a dime for Edwards, who skies for the flush. Timberwolves.
I hope that's not an indictment on us, State Bets.
I don't believe that's the case, but I think that's a pessimistic way to think. Anthony Edwards, there's nothing pessimistic in his game tonight. Edwards, and Anthony Edwards connects on his 2nd triple of the game.
Goodness.
That's his 98th 3 of the season. Edwards gets the screen from Towns. They get it away just in time, and Beverly's matched a season high with 4 threes in the game. Cross-court pass for Beverly, that one no good. Edwards gets the rebound, and he'll drill his 3rd triple. And the Timberwolves now are percolating. By the way, we had that situation in LA, Jim, when Frank Vogel called a timeout, and then Chris Finch challenged, and Chris Finch ended up winning the challenge in that game against the Lakers. Edwards takes the contact, and Ant 1 opportunity for Edwards. Edwards out of the corner. Ants are deadly. Timberwolves get the win over the Thunder, 98-90. Well, for the first time this season, the Timberwolves are in Oklahoma City looking to sweep this mini-series against the Thunder. The good news is the Timberwolves won Game 1. The bad news is, since the start of last season, when the Timberwolves have had a chance to sweep a mini-series, they are 1-7.
It's been something that's been characterizing these Wolves players this year is that, you know, they get the work in after the game. Obviously they could go back to the practice facility, but who wants to do that when you have a court right there in front of you? And they've been getting extra shots up when they had poor shooting nights.
Great ball movement, and they get the open 3 out of Anthony Edwards, and the Timberwolves have the lead for the first time tonight.
Very important for Minnesota to close out to touch or short close out to these OKC Thunder shooters. You want to be able to eliminate dribble drive penetration, which is what they're really trying to do.
Edwards looking for another, has another. Back-to-back triples for Anthony Edwards. Giddy off the glass and in.
How about that finish? It's really what he does. You know, all the shots that he has, and the up and unders, the pump fakes, the up and unders, the floaters in the painted area is his claim to fame. He did it 2 threes in the game against Minnesota last time. His Wolves knocked down another triple here from Anthony Edwards.
3 for 3 for Ant. Edwards on the attack. What a finish by Ant. Edwards. Feeling it and rattles it home. Anthony Edwards. That was a heat check 3, and the heat is on.
Edwards, one more time. Why not indeed? Ants are most restless at night, and Edwards is absolutely not being shy here tonight.
What an outlet that time.
And in transition gets the finish, and Edwards, after missing 2 consecutive shots, gets back into the make column. Russell, and D'Lo connects on another. Gilgeous Alexander was trying to draw a foul on Towns, doesn't get a whistle. Shot clock winding low, forces it up.
The amount of pressure as Josh Okogie contests and release that shot by SGA.
Oh, Okogie, the 360 over the head finish and one.
He deserves that.
Giddey turns it over. Edwards, this time is going to get an open look at it and flushes it. Didn't have to work quite as hard for that one.
No, you need to get a bucket as the shot clock's winding down. Get it in that guy's hands.
Edwards for Towns. I'll tell you what, it was the Russell and Ant show in the first half, but Towns is trying to turn the second half into his event. And Jim, you figured they'll be favored against the Rockets. They'll be favored against the Pelicans. If they take care of their business in the next couple of games, they'll be exactly 21-20 at the halfway point of the season. Over 500. Edwards hits another 3. Timberwolves win it in emphatic fashion to start off the road trip. 135-105, a 30-point victory for Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves here tonight. The last time the Timberwolves were in Houston, they grounded the Rockets' 14-game home win streak in the series between the teams. Tonight, it's the Wolves with a chance to start a Toyota Center win streak. A victory tonight would give them consecutive wins in Houston for the first time in a decade. Edwards, a little curl, and then a finish with the left hand.
Yeah, he got rid of Garrison Matthews that time and found his way to the rim.
It's nice to see history being rewritten, and Karl Anthony Towns delivers another 3. Porter Jr. gets into the paint, but the Timberwolves get the basketball as Okogie flies in for it. Edwards goes the distance. Oh, how did Ant get that one to go?
What an athlete, man. This is unbelievable.
By the way, I told you I'd tell you about the Gary Bird. I talked to...
That wasn't very Gary Bird-like either.
I talked to... Well, it was maybe Gary Bird. It wasn't Larry Bird. That was more Larry Bird-like. D'Angelo Russell drilling the 3. So when Matthews started playing regularly was when Jalen Green got hurt. Craig Ackerman, the Rockets television guy, I had a conversation with today. He said a fan created a meme. A nice tough take there by David Nwaba. A fan created a meme calling him Gary Bird, and it caught fire. Timberwolves disruptive again, come up with the basketball. Edwards is fed by Noel.
Wow, Jalen Noel threading the needle. I mean, that was an impossible angle and pass that he just made.
And Christopher is making a name for himself tonight.
Kevin Porter Jr., Josh Christopher. These guys are athletic and they are talented. Jalen Green as well.
Oh, what a good decision by Edwards. It looked like he was going to take the 3, and instead he sees D'Lo's wide open. Porter steps back and puts it off the front of the iron. Jalen Green will give it a try. That one won't fall. And Towns comes up with the board. Edwards ahead to Vanderbilt, who had run up the floor and nobody was with him. Timberwolves will see the Warriors, by the way, next weekend. In fact, 1 week from today. So, I mean, it's good news and bad news. We're excited to see Clay play. It's going to make them awfully tough to beat, though. Although the way the Timberwolves are playing, and Anthony Edwards, he's now in double figures. He knocks down his first 3. Meantime, the Timberwolves as a team, as Edwards gets another bucket, Jim, they're 1 point away from 100. Towns will take it and make it.
Unreal.
And by the way, so I was going to finish that point. 135 last night. The season high for a game is 138. The franchise record is 144. All those things are in play again tonight. And they might be even more in play tonight because the Timberwolves are sitting on 111 before the end of the 3rd. Edwards The three goes.
Big time.
But how about the two games combined? 135 on Friday, 141 tonight. So 276 points in a two-game span for the Timberwolves. Game 41 of the Timberwolves season tonight in New Orleans, and a chance for the Timberwolves to get back over 500 if they can match their season best 5-game win streak.
Jared Vanderbilt, by the way, is 9th in the NBA in offensive rebounds per game. 3.2 is what he averages. So Wolves have 2 of the top 10, and just like the Houston game started with a Jared Vanderbilt dunk, this game starts with a Jared Vanderbilt dunk.
Every game should start with a Jared Vanderbilt dunk.
Jared Vanderbilt charged with matching up with Brandon Ingram. So important to get into his space.
And the three ball is good.
See, that's the three in transition I'm fine with.
Hart unable to finish. Edwards still looking for his first points tonight. Instead gives it to D'Lo, and Russell connects on his third triple of the game. Timberwolves looking for some scoring out of Edwards, and Ant finally in the scoring column ties it back up. Ant didn't settle Jim for that three like he has so many times, and instead he finds Beasley open for a triple.
Yeah, Gary Clark is one of those call-ups, COVID call-ups.
Yeah, but not just any kind of COVID call-up, Jim. He was playing for the G League team in Mexico City. First G League call-up off the Mexico City team.
He blows past him right there. Wolves did a great job of operating in the painted area last ball game against Houston. Second chance points have been their calling card as Towns gets that late throw out.
Edwards, catch and shoot, baby.
Yes, sir.
Russell. Wolves get the second chance rebound. And do they get the second chance bucket? They do. Edwards finally in double figures. That foul on Jones was his fourth. Edwards drills the contested three.
Love it.
Edwards for
like
Towns.
That pass. Love that action.
Wolves chance to get it to a single possession.
Jayden trying to do a little Vanderbilt work right there.
Oh, Edwards.
Wow, what a finish.
Turned on a dime, getting around the defenders. Valanciunas. Rejected by Towns, right into the hands of Valanciunas. And then the Timberwolves are able to come up with a basketball. Chance to go in front.
What a possession defensively.
Edwards gets into the paint, gets a roll. And Edwards puts Minnesota back in front.
Kind of expected when I looked at New Orleans crunch numbers, who would lead them in scoring. Devontae Graham leads them in scoring. I thought Brandon Ingram would. He's third.
Edwards steps back and drills it.
That's big. That's huge.
Ingram trying to come up clutch there, and Vando is done. That's his 6th personal, and it's a 4-point opportunity for New Orleans. Edwards. Oh my goodness, Ant is relentless tonight. Hart just threw Beasley to the court. No whistle.
Oh, come on.
Ingram's got 30 in the game.
Unbelievable shot making by both teams.
Edwards. And this time Ant attacks and kisses it off the glass for 2. Hart.
Pop to catch. Nice job by Josh Okogie.
They get it back to Ingram for the win. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
And the Timberwolves don't have a timeout.
Yeah.
Beverly. And that's going to end it.
Unreal.
Wow. Well, the last time the Timberwolves were in Memphis, Karl Anthony Towns hit one of the more memorable shots of the season, but the Wolves fell to the Grizzlies in overtime. They did rectify that, however, with a dominant performance over Memphis at Target Center.
When Minnesota took care of business at Target Center, Minnesota got off to a great start. Pat Bev really helped out. Anthony Edwards was fantastic, and it was a blitzkrieg in the first quarter.
Yeah, they won the first quarter 40-23. They led 73-42 at halftime.
Yeah, John Morant didn't even play in the fourth quarter. John Morant didn't get his first basket in that game, Dave. It was Anthony Edwards who knocks down a catch and shoot right there.
John Morant makes his living in the paint. Only Giannis and Jokic score more. And how about the Timberwolves getting it done no matter where they're shooting it from here tonight? Russell's 2 for 2.
This Grizzlies team rebounds the basketball on both ends really well. His job. That's the paint shot making that he can do. If he can't get to the rim, he does have the ability when you force him right. He wants to go left. If you look at all these shots that he hits going late game, it's going left. This Ant gets an Ant one right there.
Yes, the Ant one opportunity. McDaniels had a streak of 9 straight games with at least 1 3 snapped in New Orleans the other night. Anthony Edwards says, I'll just get the 3. And how about Edwards tacking on 3 more in this quarter? Edwards making everything look easy right now. 15 in the game for Ant. Oh, the quick outlet by Slow-Mo taken away by Anthony Edwards. Ant steps back, buries the triple. What a night for Edwards. He's got 18 in the game. Edwards for 3, rattles it home. Edwards gets into the paint, and it is a bug's life tonight in Memphis. Anthony Edwards has 25 in the first half. Edwards, 25 in the first half, is yet to score here in the second. Serves it up for Russell, and D'Lo gets it to rattle in. Assisted by Edwards. Timberwolves right now are more worried about what's happening on the court. Suddenly trailing by 4. Edwards, and that is well timed out of Anthony Edwards. His first bucket of the second half. To Anthony Melton for Clark. And the put back up and in. Melton crashing the glass. Towns trailing the play for 3. First triple tonight for Towns. And then head to the Bally Sports North Facebook page for the Timberwolves Fast Break presented by Nucleus Network. So Edwards with a bucket to get to 30 for the game, but that's going to wrap it up in Memphis. Got to tip your cap to the Grizzlies. The Timberwolves gave them all they could handle tonight, but Memphis extends their win streak to 11 consecutive games.
Knicks basketball is on MSG, and it is presented by Chase, as tonight the Knicks play host to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Oh, look out. Edwards drives and finishes. He is powerful. Yeah. Edwards.
Yeah, he has the mismatch he wanted. He wants Robinson.
Shot clock winding down, steps back, 3-pointer, that's good.
We mentioned Robinson, not comfortable out there. He doesn't guard guys 25 feet away.
Beasley on the drive, left-handed, flips it up and in, and the foul.
Yeah, they give him the continuation. Edwards lucid.
Oh, good hard drive from Edwards. Grimes was all over him.
Yeah, good dexterity with the left hand.
Noel launches a pass to Edwards. Edwards off the bounce. Grimes trying to stay with him. Puts it in, and the foul. Edwards felt contact and just flipped it up with his left hand.
A couple of times he's made that left-handed running one-hander.
Oz Reed wraps it around to Edwards. Edwards, Euro step, banks it in. Well, this kid's got a lot in his arsenal. And we looked up at, they didn't keep stats of block shots until a year after Wilt retired. But somebody got a hold of somehow a database with 112 of his games as Naz Reid knocks down the 3. And they figured out during those 112 games, Wilt Chamberlain averaged 8.8 blocks per game.
Previously, Edwards turned it over. Now he has the mismatch he wants.
Edwards lines that up. Robinson giving him so much room there. Hesitant to go out. Under 5 to play in what has been so far a good third quarter for the Knicks. Russell, long distance. That's his third 3, and Tom Thibodeau wants a timeout.
Good job, Dave. Blocking Mike out nicely to get that foul.
Edwards gets inside and scores. Shot clock is turned off.
A lot of times teams don't need it, Mike. They still end up taking a 3.
Fournier looking for an opening. On the drive, Fournier gets inside. Shot blocked. Rebound Towns picked up by Burks. Burks a 3-pointer. Off the mark. Edwards the rebound, and the Knicks fall short. Oh, a gut-wrenching gut-wrenching loss as the Knicks had the opportunities, but lose to the T-Wolves here at the Garden.
Teams on the opposite end of the travel spectrum meet tonight in Atlanta. The Hawks are smack dab in the middle of a stretch with 10 of 11 games at home. The Wolves in a stretch with 12 of 15 on the road. But Minnesota has won 4 of its last 6 away games, so they're probably just fine with all that. Following a win, it's when they have a chance to sweep
Yes.
a road back-to-back. They've lost 27 in a row. And, I mean, it's an unbelievable drought, and the Timberwolves are hoping that they can bring it to an end tonight. Last time they swept a road back-to-back, February 2011, and the Timberwolves strike first, courtesy of Anthony Edwards. Edwards off the back of the iron, and the rebound by Vanderbilt. Edwards, second chance bucket for Ant.
Again, I think that there's some hand wringing that goes on when Towns doesn't touch the ball, late game, especially in the fourth quarter. And Chris Finch kind of addressed that tonight before the game. Talked about he kind of just went away from Cat a little bit. They were really playing physical against him. They were taking away a lot of the easy catches and touches, and that's kind of what New York does. And they were really handsy, he said.
Edwards comes up with his own miss and puts it up and in.
Beautifully done.
Jim, I mentioned the Hawks had lost 10 in a row at home. They started the year fantastic at home. Had started 8-1, and then it was inexplicable that they suddenly lost 10 in a row on their home floor.
All the injuries and the COVID protocols, Ant knocks down the triple there.
Yeah, Ant has had this one circled on his calendar for a while. John Collins, no. Edwards comes up with the basketball. Edwards sizing up Hunter, gets the screen, gets the 3.
How about that?
Edwards steps back, the 3 is good for Ant.
That was deep. That was Larry Bird-like. On the sideline, my buddy Vincent Harris, who is from New Jersey, as Minnesota knocks down another shot. Anthony Edwards on fire.
134-122 as soon as they inbound it here with 0.8 left. Will likely be the final. I don't know if anybody's going to take the heave, and they won't. Well, tonight in downtown Minneapolis, the Timberwolves, another quick one-game homestand. This time they take on the team with the best record in the Eastern Conference, the Brooklyn Nets. And the Nets will be minus Kevin Durant, but they will have Kyrie Irving and James Harden here tonight. The Nets have used 22 lineups this year. That's tied with the Lakers for the most in the NBA this season. Edwards leaves it for Towns. Cat able to get the bucket, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play. The foul on Day'Ron Sharpe. Russell gives it up for Edwards. Ants with the new hairstyle, but the same three-point stroke. Towns for Vanderbilt.
Just like that.
How was that set up? That was set up perfectly. That's how it was set up, including the bounce.
Couldn't have been better. That was textbook right there.
Oh, Edwards. Oh, man, for a second I thought he might have had an angle to try and sling it. Instead, works it to Taurean Prince, who hits the jumper.
Patty Mills might be one of the best pickups in the NBA this year. To be able to get a talented player like that, as Kyrie can't get it to go. But Patty Mills has been one of my favorite players in the league for a long time.
You know what, it hadn't dawned on me, Jim, until I was reading about their return as Edwards goes to the left hand for the finish. Edwards, Patty Mills cuts him off, so he'll take the mid-range and connect.
This has been another great half of basketball for Anthony Edwards.
And they turn it over. 9th turnover of the game by the Nets. McDaniels puts the shooting percentage even further north.
Every single person that's come in this game has been helpful in some way.
Aldridge, no. Towns grabs the rebound. Edwards gets up ahead of steam, and a chance for an and one. Harden loses the basketball. Vanderbilt for Edwards, Ant from long distance. And the Timberwolves are going to force Steve Nash to use a timeout. Minnesota has opened up its largest lead of the game. Edwards put his hands up as if he was praying for it to go in, and it does.
He's got a little bit of a weird shot release, and his feet are kind of wide apart when he shoots it.
And Anthony Edwards trying to be better than than Kessler Edwards. Edwards dumps it inside. Towns with the stuff.
How about the decision making by Ant that time? Up in the air, thought about going to his right. Nope, I'm going to go back to my left and dump it down to Towns.
Harden.
He gets it.
Was looking for Sharp. Edwards comes away with it. And Anthony Edwards turns on the Jets. Timberwolves, they do win it though, and it's getting them back to 500 on the season. And it's ending a 3-game losing skid in the series against the Nets. They beat the best team in the East, 136 to 125. The Moda Center in Portland, Oregon, site of tonight's Timberwolves and Blazers matchup as the Wolves try to get back over 500 on the season. It's similar to what happened in the Blazers game against Toronto on Sunday. Edwards ends the drought for the Timberwolves. Powell taken away by Edwards. Ant on the loose. Oh, what a great finish by Anthony Edwards. Edwards. By the way, Jim, there are 2 Ants on the floor tonight.
There are, yes.
Vanderbilt comes up with the rebound. Of course, we have Anthony Edwards. And Ant changes position with the Euro step and the finish.
Ant Edwards
and Ant Simons, and people are confused. I was confused today when I was hearing the Portland broadcasters calling Anthony Simons Ant, and he was also called that in their game notes. Ant leaks out, gets around Ant, and Ant with the finish. You remember Nurkic and Jokic did play together briefly in Denver, and he had a chance to see up close what Jokic could do. He's trying to show off he's got that kind of vision as well. I don't know if any big man will have the kind of vision that Jokic has. Edwards with the 3, and that's the second triple of the game for Ant, who suddenly has 15 in the game. Edwards takes the basketball away. He's got Vanderbilt with him. He doesn't need him. Ants can be selfish. How about the block with the left hand by Edwards? Oh, how about the block there out of Beasley?
It's a big play.
Edwards has Prince with him, and he gets fed for the lay-in. And the Timberwolves have it back to a 3-point game. Shot clock to 4. Edwards for 3. Yes! Ant for downtown.
Minnesota switching. You see Anthony Edwards telling guys to get in.
And now the Timberwolves are going to have a chance to take the lead.
Minnesota really got lucky right there because Ant was talking about getting in, and Covington broke right behind him as he gets another tough layup to go. Unbelievable make by Ant.
And this has been fun to watch. Edwards doing it all tonight. Edwards trying to get back to 3 that Beasley wasn't able to get, and he's going to do even one better. A chance for a 4-point play for Ant.
Well, the Wolves have really been dodging some bullets. Portland's been missing a lot of open shots.
Edwards. It's been his night. And Ant still has superhuman strength. He is flexing the muscle tonight against the Blazers. 33. Edwards into traffic, and oh my goodness, Anthony Edwards is having himself a night. And Ant won for Edwards.
Hey, it's been one of those games. We've seen it so many times from Anthony Edwards where he catches fire. But this has been a consistent flow of energy from Ant the entire game.
Oh, Ant comes up with the basketball again, and look out, Edwards with the stuff, make it 38 in the game. And Anthony Edwards comes up holding his left leg.
Vanderbilt's unbelievable.
He's been fantastic, and Edwards has 40. Well, D'Lo leaves the door open. It's just a 1-possession game. Wolves have only scored 1 point in the last 3:15. McCollum for the tie. And the Wolves will use a timeout.
You got to get the ball in bounds.
Prince gets it into Russell. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Russell off the glass, rejected by Simons, but they're going to count it because it was off the glass first. So the goaltend is going to put the Timberwolves in front with 2.1. Covington gets it in. Simons for the win, and that's going to do it. The Timberwolves hold on against the Blazers. And Anthony Edwards gets the water bottle shower on a 40-point night.
Good evening, everyone, from San Francisco. It's a beautiful night in the Bay Area. And the 404th consecutive sellout for the Warriors. The emerging Minnesota Timberwolves, 7th in the West. The Golden State Warriors are 2nd overall in the NBA. They go inside with the turnover by Klay Thompson. McDaniels on the fly. Russell puts up a shot, and Edwards collects it, and he'll reassess with the All-Star Wiggins on him. The former Timberwolf. And outside it goes. That's a 3. Wow, McDaniels with a nice stroke. Warriors lost to Minnesota 11 days ago up in the Twin Cities by 20. So they've played each other twice, 1 win apiece. Curry, that was deflected. Nice defense.
There by Anthony Edwards. Nice close there.
Oh, Poole driving with a fake and bamboozles him as he takes it inside. What a move. Towns, another 3. Got it.
And no hesitation. Karl Anthony Towns, only 7 field goal attempts 2 nights ago.
Edwards tries to pry. He does and puts it in with a sweet drive. Klay Thompson with 15. And picking up where he left off. Edwards tries to work in. McDaniels in the corner. That's a 3. Oh, straight pass to the rack. Klay Thompson accelerates for 2.
20 points tonight for Thompson. 8 of 13 shooting.
There's a nice play as Edwards will slice his way through for the deuce. It's a Curry 3. And the rebound by Edwards. Coming off that 40-point win Tuesday. Quiet tonight. 3 down the hatch. Okogie. Kuminga in. And Thompson with the mid-ranger. And a rebound by Prince. 8-0 Minnesota run.
This is a timeout here by Steve Kerr if they score.
Edwards right through into the hole. Takes it hard, tears him up, and finds the 2. Edwards inside. He pushes the button and gets it to go, even with good defense there, and 15 on the night. Timberwolves fly to Phoenix tonight and play the Suns tomorrow. How about that? And then they got Utah at home over the weekend. Edwards cans a 3.
His first make from downtown tonight. 1 of 7.
Edwards will make the move and sprint. Towns triple. Another one. Towns has 31 points. It's Thompson. Towns had a hand on it. Edwards will take it up. He's caught fire here in the second half, and especially in the fourth, and here comes Towns with the double-double. Edwards into Klay. Oh, sidestepping for 2.
He's done that about 3 or 4 times tonight.
Curry trying to break out of the slump. Here's a long 3. No, and a Vanderbilt rebound as he climbs the ladder with 2 to play. Russell out with a bruised shin. 3, Edwards, other end. Bullseye. Anthony Edwards. Number 1 overall pick. Kuminga. He'll take that shot from a long way away. Driving is Edwards the other way and gets the 2. And he'll finish with 27. And the Timberwolves will get on a plane tonight and fly down to Arizona and take on the best team in the NBA after losing to the second best team record-wise in the NBA tonight.
The weather's just a little different in the Valley of the Sun this time of year from downtown Minneapolis. Timberwolves, their only trip to Phoenix this season, taking on the team with the longest active win streak in the NBA. The Suns have won 8 straight games.
Jalen Newell getting a starting nod, his first start of his career, and gets to be the primary ball handler. No Patrick Beverly, no D'Angelo Russell. The shin injury was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser last night as Jalen knocks down that shot.
And you feel good for Bismack Biyombo, Jim, because all those years he toiled on the East Coast with the Charlotte Hornets, the Orlando Magic, never really had a chance to be with a championship caliber team. And his father passed away in August, and he took some time off from basketball and just worked on his game as the Timberwolves retake the lead off the bucket from Edwards.
Think about Booker, too. He's played 40 games, so he's missed 7 this year as Minnesota knocks down another outside shot. And that's what Bismack has been able to do. I watched every single one of his field goal attempts so far this season, and a lot of them include pick and rolls with Chris Paul. And how about Ant here early on?
He hasn't missed a perfect 3 of 3. He's got 8 points.
Phoenix has a high switch rate, and so when you get the matchup that you like, you like to make quick decisions. That's one of the things that Chris Finch has really lauded Anthony Edwards for, is that one of the big switches that's been flipped for him is his decision making. Just like that, turning defense into offense. But when the ball gets sticky, that's when Minnesota's offense kind of bogs down.
And Chris Paul's not putting up the numbers, but he's getting wins, and that's the most important thing. That's the definition in my mind of most valuable. As Anthony Edwards, another take and make.
Devin Booker deserves as much of the conversation as Chris Paul does. Devin Booker does a lot of the heavy lifting in terms of the volume shooting.
The other
and
thing
making
with
shots.
Chris Paul, though, Jim, is he plays his best when the game's on the line. Leads the NBA, and we saw in that graphic,
and I said
scoring.
He leads the NBA in clutch scoring.
In the plus minus. Suns working around outside. Ish Wainwright, probably not the guy they want shooting threes.
Wolves have done a great job here.
Vanderbilt. And how about this? The Timberwolves have come all the way back to tie in a 12-3 run. Edwards kicks it out for Jalen Noel, and Noel connects on the 3, his second of the game. Towns finally able to get one to go here in this second half. And he's in double figures now. Cam Johnson unable to connect out of the corner. Towns waited before he took the 3, and he connects. And it's a little 5-0 spurt here by Minnesota.
I've never seen a referee say, after a player screams at them after they think they got fouled, to adjudicate it right then and have them say, you're right. You did get fouled. I'm going to stop play right now and actually call the foul in your favor versus just running back on defense.
Anthony Edwards connects from outside, and the Timberwolves have it back to just a 6-point game. Edwards sniffs out a steal. Towns fakes the 3, takes the 3, makes the 3.
That's a beautiful thing right there.
Alfred Payton will inbound it. McLaughlin knocks it free, and at the buzzer, oh, baby!
That's how you execute end of quarter.
Beasley.
Don't look now. Malik Beasley is having a heck of a game here.
Chris Paul's had 15 fourth-quarter points in each of the last 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, he's done it all season long. He did it at the game at Target Center. You know, he was kind of laying in the weeds, kind of getting other people off, and then all of a sudden the gong went off for him in the second half, and especially the fourth quarter.
19 in the fourth quarter for him in that game.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of his MO. There's nothing new with Anthony Edwards getting to the rim, too, and making shots.
Gets it to roll in.
That was a thing of beauty right there.
Ant with a career high, the 10 dimes, 24 points. Edwards drills the 3. So back to an 8-point game, 27 in the game for Edwards. The Phoenix Suns have won 9 straight games. They moved to 39-9, their best start through 48 games in franchise history. Well, the last time the Timberwolves were 2 games over 500, they got there with a road win against a team from the Central Division by beating Milwaukee. Can they duplicate that here tonight by getting a win against the Detroit Pistons? Pistons are 29th in the league in three-point percentage. Edwards, and Anthony Edwards with his first bucket from the field tonight. That one well off by Magruder. Beverly hits Edwards, and Ant connects. So 5 straight points for Edwards. A 9-3 Detroit run, and making an 11-3 Detroit run.
Frank Jackson's been a real thorn in Minnesota's side here early on.
He's got 7 points in 3 minutes. Edwards able to finish with the left hand.
That was breathtaking to see in person at floor level. He just put the Jets on and got past Kelly Olynyk.
Olynyk misses at the rim. Edwards has 3 white jerseys in front of him. He'll take the 3 and make the 3. And Ant wasted no time getting into double figures here tonight. Prince for 3. Torian has been so clutch. 6 of 9 from outside the arc against Denver.
This is one of those games that frustrates Piston fans when Corey Joseph is 0 for 3 in the game. Because last ball game against New Orleans, he was able to accumulate 18 points in that game as Ant gets back to go. He thought he deserved a foul.
Oh, no, he got teed.
Wow. Just got to extinguish the, you got fouled. There's no question about it, but you made the basket.
6th year in the league from Magruder. Edwards!
That was really fancy right there.
That was a flying ant right there. Edwards. And Anthony Edwards absolutely starting to get his group going now.
Nice play design right there.
Edwards. And Anthony Edwards now with 10 in the quarter, and the Timberwolves back in front.
He's just slicing people up, man. He is just getting to the rim at will.
Torian Prince, such a huge part of this game, is the one who came off. Anthony Edwards.
They're going to call it an Ant one right here.
Yes, they are, and the crowd not liking it. They thought Ant should have been called for a charge. And the Pistons, they made it interesting here tonight, but in the end, the Timberwolves get the job done. Grant, that'll count if it goes, it doesn't. And the Timberwolves are going to win it 128-117, a hard-fought win against a scrappy Detroit Pistons team.
Minnesota and Detroit met on Thursday in a high-scoring affair at Little Caesars Arena, where the Wolves' dynamic duo of Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards proved to be too much for the Pistons. Today, the scene shifts to the Twin Cities for a rematch in Minneapolis. Live from the Target Center, it's the Pistons and the Timberwolves. Jeremy Grant gets to the paint. Shot won't fall. Rebound to Vanderbilt. Towns drives and dunks. And he got that 7 feet and 250 rolling toward the rim. There was no stopping him. Finally, Anthony Edwards with a score on a drive and a scoop. Edwards first hoop, Corey Joseph to the paint. Keeps that dribble against Edwards. Double teamed and they knock it away. Edwards ahead to Patrick Beverly. Shovels back to Edwards against Corey. Plenty of shot clock. Edwards in front of Karl Anthony Towns for a score. 45-43 Minnesota. Jeremy Grant lost it in the lane. Edwards runs it the other way and flips it up and fills it up.
And guess what, George? He knows he hasn't been very productive in this game, so look out. He might be looking to do what Sadiq did, and that's explode.
Edwards with the shot. And back in again.
Careful.
And I'm sure he wants to score more. Edwards bounces it to Karl Anthony Towns. Topside to Beasley, and he buries another. This guy's a very legitimate three-point shooter.
Yeah, he is. Keep an eye on him, that's for sure.
2:44 left. Towns backs on Corey Joseph. Beverly. Gives it up to Edwards. D'Angelo Russell from the baseline rattles it in. They got some shooters on this squad, yeah. Crowd applauding what they've seen. And Edwards excites the crowd with the triple. We have watched a lot of talented players make tough shots and big-time plays all afternoon long. But the Timberwolves were better here in the fourth. They win the ball game, 118-105.
Well, the Timberwolves looking to bury a lot of history here tonight in Sacramento. They seek their first win streak of at least 6 games in nearly 18 years and look to sweep a road back-to-back for the first time in 11 years. Can they get it done tonight? Metu denied. Sabonis comes in and gets the offensive rebound, though. That one hit the rim right as the shot clock was expiring. Holiday, the feed for Metu.
Yeah, having a facilitating big like Sabonis
is huge as Ant gets that one to go. It's good to see Ant make a layup inside. Oh, man.
It was just wow, wow, wow. I mean, I don't know what I liked more, the Towns dime or the Ant stuff. Edwards gives it up for Russell, and D'Lo connects on a three. Second triple of the game for the Wolves. They both have come courtesy of Russell. Edwards, Anthony Edwards, he's starting to heat up, trying to make up for last night.
Damian Jones was knocking down all those jumpers, and Carl wasn't putting up much resistance as Ant knocks down the triple.
That was a rainbow three.
It really was.
5 turnovers already for Sacramento. Edwards cashes in 3 more off the turnover. He's already got 14. Kings with their largest lead. Edwards looking for his first points of the quarter, and he hits it from downtown.
You got to give Vivek Ranadive a lot of credit for saving this team. This team was gone. Ant's having a whale of a game here.
He's got 20. Edwards off the glass.
Great play call by D'Angelo Russell.
Edwards attacking Sabonis, gets around him, gets the roll. Edwards creates for himself and hits. Timberwolves' 5-game win streak comes to an end. And they're going to fall tonight, 132-119. Friday night in the Windy City, where it took a while, but the Minnesota Timberwolves and Chicago Bulls will finally have their first meeting of this season. Edwards right down Broadway with the finish.
Great footwork by Ant there.
Oh, how did he stick with that finish? Looked like it was going to not have a chance to be able to go up.
DeMar DeRozan looked like he traveled to me.
Yeah, and it looked like he was trying to bait McDaniels into one of those and one opportunities.
It's definitely a situation.
Edwards switches over, goes and finishes. Ants have 6 legs, and he used them all right there, folks.
That was breathtaking right there. I mean, that was Jordan-like, the way he got through that group of players and able to finish with the left hand.
That was awesome. Edwards does it again.
One of the great things about coming to United Center is that these games are so well attended. This is one of the best fan bases in the NBA. As Anthony Edwards is going to get the Ant one here.
The continuation for Ant. He goes into double figures.
Yeah, having a whale of a game.
How about Jim, overall on the season from everywhere? Edwards is finding another gear right now. Javonte Green coming into tonight was 15 of 53 on the season from downtown. He's 2 of 3 tonight.
That's right.
Vucevic.
Vucevic has had a couple buckets super early in this game, and all of a sudden you got 3 Bulls players in double figures.
Edwards puts the Wolves back in front. That knee must be feeling a lot better.
You know, Arturas Karnisovas has done such a great job with his team, too. Last year getting Vucevic as well.
3 years, $84 million. Towns, meantime, able to finish. And the Timberwolves go back in front as this game goes back and forth. Levine just 1 of 6 from the field. The rest of the Bulls are 19 of 25 out of the starting unit. Edwards changes direction, and he's got another finish. Ants travel well-beaten past Jim, and he is really making a path to the basket so far here tonight.
He really is. He's been in attack mode.
Edwards finds D'Lo in the corner, and Russell with the triple, his first tonight, after tying a season high with 6 in Sacramento on Wednesday. Edwards able to get into the paint, wanted an Ant one.
Javonte Green is trying to sit down and contain Anthony Edwards, but Ant is just having his way.
Edwards coast to coast, and Ant one as he turns on the Jets.
Oh, is he putting on a show here at United Center? He seemed kind of wincing a little bit.
Edwards gets cut off, so he finds Beverly for the 3. Vucevic had made his last 2 threes, unable to connect on that one. Timberwolves looking to go back in front. Beasley draws a whistle, kisses it off the glass, and good.
16-5, the current run by the Wolves, and Levine gets two back with style. Two-time NBA slam dunk champ. Towns, and count a chance for an and one. And Jim Hill finally get a chance at his first free throw of the night. Green underneath, rejected that time by Edwards.
And then DeMar DeRozan is such a problem. You've got to double him and attract attention. And Ant knocks down another triple here.
Second triple tonight for Ant.
For Minnesota, that's huge.
Beverly ahead to Vando. Edwards connects on the three, so that gives him a 31-point game. The Timberwolves led it 100 to 97. And then the Bulls went absolutely crazy. They finish it on a 37 to 25 run.
How picturesque is that on a Sunday afternoon? The Timberwolves are hoping it will be a super Sunday in Indianapolis as they try to win the final game of this 4-game road trip.
Russell trying to answer right back. Rattles out. Vanderbilt with the offensive board. And Edwards cashes in the second chance three.
Minnesota just turns it over here. Tyrese Halliburton takes it away from D'Lo.
And then Ant gets it right back. What a spin around Duarte. The bounce pass for Russell. That was all Ant making that happen for the Wolves. Edwards, 4 seconds. Ant off the glass, rattles it in right as time expires. Anthony Edwards and Lance Stevenson both with buckets to close out. Edwards, what a spin, and a chance for an Ant one. Washington, Reed comes up with the block. Timberwolves have never led in this game. Edwards ties it up. He explodes with the dunk.
Oh man, the left to right crossover on Batadze was just an scintillating play.
He is a fire ant right now here in Indianapolis. And this is the first time this game has been tied. The Timberwolves have never led in this game. They'd like to change that right now. Edwards takes it away, coast to coast for the dunk.
Man, Naz has been active here defensively. Minnesota, I know people say it's a hockey state, but I really think it's well, first of all, every state that has an NFL team is an NFL state. It's a Viking state as Pat Bev knocks it down, but Minnesota is a basketball state. It's a basketball savvy state.
Oh, foul! And then the Timberwolves come up with the stop. Russell looking to push the pace. Edwards gets around Halliburton, and Ants bury their dead. And a hush over this crowd here in Indiana after watching Anthony Edwards take flight.
It's just unreal. It's so nasty, and he does it so effortlessly, the way he glides and throws it down. That's like Michael Jordan slam dunk contest in Seattle, 1986 right there. Turning sideways, throwing it down.
Edwards drills the three.
That was an impossible shot. I mean, Brissett was all over the shooting arm and probably even fouled him.
Edwards fills it up again. 22 in the game for Ant. Russell comes up with the basketball. 9th forced turnover by the Wolves. Edwards the three.
Is he going to tell Rick Carlisle to call timeout?
In Edwards' younger years in Atlanta, he actually found football to be his first love. He played quarterback, running back.
If he wanted to play college and professionally pro football, I have a feeling he could have done that, but we're sure happy he's playing for the Timberwolves in the NBA.
If you're switching 1 through 4, you know who you're switching with. And if they change it to 1 through 5, which is what they've been doing, they've been switching 1 through 5, you got to switch with everybody.
Edwards just drilled his 6th three of the game.
He's in the zone.
And he's got a 30-point night, his 7th 30-point or better game of the season. Halliburton looking for 16 dimes. That time will not get it as the Timberwolves defense doesn't flinch.
Yeah, Ant denied that one at the rim.
Edwards with Thompson on him, and Ant with his 7th triple of the game. Oh, Halliburton was trying to throw it to Taylor, who wasn't ready for it. It goes right off of his back. Beverly alone in the corner, and the Timberwolves will say thank you very much for those 3 points.
I don't know what the miscommunication was. Halliburton shot it. Taylor wasn't even looking at him. Edwards able to draw the contact, and it's an Ant one at a critical time in the game.
Brissett just shakes his head. He's like, this guy's amazing.
129 to 120, the final here in Indiana this afternoon. Cleveland, Ohio on this Monday night. The Timberwolves and the Cavaliers finishing off their season series as the Timberwolves will play a road game for the first time since Super Bowl Sunday. McDaniels out of the corner. It'd be good to see him catch some fire. He has not seen it go through the rim too much of late from downtown. Edwards, and there we go. Edwards.
That should be a blocking call.
He does say, well, I'll just take the bucket at this point, Jim.
You're right about that.
Love blocked by Russell. He's got Edwards trailing the play. He'll take it himself, can't get it to go. Edwards the rebound, he can't get it to go. Russell taps it out.
How about that sequence?
That was, it will be a lot better if they can actually right the ship with a bucket here.
The thing that you don't want to do is play against a set Cleveland Cavaliers defense, that's for sure.
McDaniels with a three. So
out there.
At least it ends well. Edwards pulls it down. Russell for Ants. There we go. Edwards knocks down a three. Those have been tough to come by lately for Anthony Edwards. Shot clock getting low. Goodwin has to take it. And Towns pulls down the rebound. Edwards into the corner. Towns gets an offensive board. Russell deep three. Edwards works the offensive glass for the putback.
Manufacturing points for Anthony Edwards. Scoring in other ways than trying to play in isolation.
Ant gets into the paint, attacks, and finishes. And Anthony Edwards is starting to look like he's got his groove back.
What a move by Ant right there with the lefty finish.
Explosive.
Lamar Stevens didn't play in the first half. Getting some burn here right now for Jamie Bickerstaff.
Oh my goodness, Anthony Edwards just exploded.
That came out of nowhere.
Pat Bev drills.
He's in a zone. This has been the Pat Beverly, Jared Vanderbilt show here in the third quarter, ladies and gentlemen.
Vanderbilt comes up with a basketball. Edwards in the open floor. And Ant coasts in. Ants to glide the wind, and Edwards did it there. Love. And the Timberwolves get the stop.
Minnesota doing a good job rebounding here.
Beverly drills a three. PB coming up huge. And Beverly, how apropos is that? Ends the game with a block. Mr. Junkyard Dog, give him a chance.
Mr. 94 feet.
He has willed the Timberwolves to a win here tonight. Welcome to Orlando, where it was beautiful here this afternoon. The Timberwolves are hoping to keep things picturesque in terms of their win streak as they bring a 6-game win streak with them to Orlando. Edwards drives, kicks. Beverly, as the shot clock's about to expire, connects for three.
Just a beautiful offensive possession.
I alluded to, Jim, that the game here that the Magic had on Tuesday night against Phoenix, the Suns, with no Booker and no Chris Paul, they got taken down to the wire. Franz Wagner actually had a shot block that could have tied the game. Edwards drills the three. Franz Wagner had a three that could have tied the game with about 7 seconds left, blocked by Mikal Bridges. Edwards for Vando. Nice job by Ant to see Vando in the dunker spot.
I think it was a great catch, too, because that ball had some heat on it.
Bamba chased out the three-point line. He'll miss the long two. Edwards in rhythm, drills the triple.
Minnesota already 6 of 8. 6 of 8.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's a nice start. Edwards gets inside, and it ends the Timberwolves' drought.
The Wolves really need Anthony Edwards to come to the party in a big way.
Towns has Anthony on him.
into the corner. Edwards, three.
If you're going to double team Towns, you got to make him pay, and Ant does there.
And it's smart by Orlando if they can attack the paint, because Towns is going to be a little bit conservative, you would think, with the 4 fouls. Russell, meantime, keeps the Timberwolves offense rolling.
And forces the switch.
Towns works his way inside, and Cat off the glass and in.
Just called for Karl to come set that screen. Forced the switch, got it to Karl at the nail again.
Edwards in front of Bamba, and he drills the triple.
See what I mean? Wolves have gotten pretty much anything they want. If they don't turn it over, if they don't foul, this has not been much of a Wagner game yet. He only has 4 points in the game as Cole Anthony knocks down the runner.
And again, back to a 5-point game.
Anthony's got 13 in the game.
He had 31 in that meeting at Target Center.
14 in the fourth quarter. Minnesota was outscored 43-19 as Malik puts the one-hand hammer down.
Beasley. Edwards sees an opening and exploits it.
Ant's been doing a nice job of mixing up three-point shot and dribble drive penetration. Chris Finch going back to Karl Anthony Towns here early in the fourth.
Edwards attacks Ross and finishes.
Amazing.
And he's got 20. Well, we've seen Mo Wagner hurt the Timberwolves before, but not in a Magic uniform. It's an Ant one, to be exact. And Anthony Edwards will go to the free throw line to try to finish it off. Orlando taking his time. And I mean, those are the guys that have carried the Magic tonight, Carter and Bamba. Edwards able to get a finish at the rim, with just 35 seconds remaining. And for the 12th time in 14 trips to Orlando, the Timberwolves are going to leave with a loss. Well, things are starting to thaw out here in the Twin Cities, and as the calendar starts to march towards spring, the Timberwolves looking to continue their march towards the postseason. They'll try to get another victory here tonight against the visiting Los Angeles Lakers. Out of the corner, Beverly drills the three. Beverly has come on shooting the threes, makes 7 of his last 9. LeBron will try the three, leaves it short. Ant finds an extra gear, kicks it out. Beasley, and Malik Beasley able to get it away just before LeBron could get there for the block. He connects, and the Timberwolves have a 10-point lead. What a little move by McLaughlin, but he gets cut off. Edwards looking for his first points of the game, and he gets his first points of the game over LeBron.
3 players have most of Minnesota's points here early on.
Edwards has James to beat, and Ant able to get the finish.
John Krasinski wrote a great article on The Athletic.
Edwards drills the triple. See if that can get him going from outside. He has really struggled shooting the 3 ball. James, no. Nate Knight knocks it free. James is down on the court and slow to get up. Edwards, the transition triple.
You better get back. Ron's still a little groggy right here.
Nate Knight got the defensive 3 seconds there, which is why the free throw attempts. Edwards. Nate Knight dives to the floor, gets the basketball back for the Wolves. And the 3 ball by Russell is good.
Hustle plays.
Edwards drills the 3. The Wolves needed that in the worst way.
They did.
Ant looking for another, has another. Back-to-back triples for Ant.
It's been a while since we've seen one of these Ant runs.
He's got 4 in the game. Monk, no good. Rebound comes down to Beverly. What did I tell you about Beverly on the glass tonight? That's his 5th rebound.
Yeah.
I mean, it was 7, 9, and 9 in the 3 games. Averages under 5 a game for the season. Anthony Edwards, the rim is looking like a hula hoop to him right now. He's 5 of 7 outside the arc. He scored the last 11 for the Wolves.
Just the zone for the Lakers really discombobulated Minnesota's ability to attack the rim, but Ant says, I'm going to knock down this three.
The Wolves find the opening for Edwards. Augustine gets it right back. McLaughlin was able to stop it. Anthony unable to get it to go. Edwards the other way. The Euro step. Nate Knight the putback.
LeBron just hit his arm on the rim. Good flare screen over the top by Towns.
Back into the corner. And Prince drills the triple. And that does it. Wolves win it by 20.
Well, it is an early tip here in Minneapolis. The Timberwolves and the Bucks renew the border battle. It seems like forever ago that these two teams met all the way back in late October in Milwaukee. Timberwolves looking to sweep the season series against their border rival.
Basketball finds its way to Russell, over to Edwards. Ant gets into the paint and gets it to rattle in.
A lot of English on that shot for Ant.
Edwards had 25 in that first meeting. He comes up with the steal here. Ant will take the three and make the three. 5 quick points for Edwards. Oh, they're going to say his foot was on the line. It's only a 2.
Challenging schedule right now for the Wolves, but Coach Finch says it's the right challenge at the right time for this team.
Momentum right now in favor of the Wolves. Edwards drills another, and during the break, the courtside administrator weighed in and said, yeah, that was a 3 by Anthony Edwards. So now the Timberwolves take the lead for the first time this afternoon. Ibaka puts it on the deck. The Timberwolves able to contest and get the stop.
Patrick Beverley did a really nice job of
Edwards drives in, and Ants are not only active at night, Jim, they're active in the afternoon. Ant connects again.
You know, Edwards had the big game against the Lakers as well.
Edwards for Jalen Noel. Jalen straight away, and a nice find from Ant. Edwards for Towns. Cat exploits the space.
That was Elvis's motto, though. You ever been to Graceland and seen the...
No, all the times I've gone to Memphis, I've never gone there. But maybe we'll have an extended stay in Memphis very soon. Edwards drills the triple to start his second half scoring.
Good screen by Towns.
Edwards drills a 3. He's got 4 in the game. He's got 184 in the season now, by the way. Towns for Edwards. Ant looking for another. Has another. 5 triples now for Edwards. And 23 points in the game. According to Zach Lowe says that voters this year will be allowed to vote 2 centers to all NBA teams. Beasley drills a 3.
So did the rule change, or has it always been that way? Because John Krasinski told me you couldn't do that.
Well,
and I would think John Krasinski would know what he was talking about.
JK's the one who relayed the information to me since our last broadcast. They're going to count the bucket here. The goaltend will give the Timberwolves 2 more transition points.
And Marnie had talked to Karl Anthony Towns at a season ticket event, and Karl had told Marnie that one of the things he did is he wanted to get rid of all the basketballs in the practice facility and put NBA Finals balls as Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah!
Throws it down with the windmill hammer.
And Ant enjoying it as a walk-off, almost like a home run there. He got to enjoy it a little bit. Edwards finds Vanderbilt, and they connect for the alley-oop.
Misconnections there.
What an afternoon/evening here in downtown Minneapolis. The Timberwolves, they go to work on the defending champs and win it by 19. Oh, get ready for what should be a heck of a night here in Dallas, Texas. The weather has been tumultuous, and this one is probably going to be bumpy as well. Both of these teams coming in playing fantastic basketball, and a lot at stake between the Timberwolves and the Mavericks. Just a game and a half separating them in the Western Conference standings. Brunson rejected by Towns, and he's able to come up with the basketball. Wolves looking to go back in front. Russell uses the fake to get the flyby, and then, man, was that ever money. Edwards He'll connect from three, and the Wolves needed that. They need him to get going. That's his first make from the field tonight.
One of those games where it seems like the defensive game plan's kind of gone out the window, and so now it's kind of what's going to happen.
Beverly finds Edwards, Ants open and connects. And it's again back under 10, but the Wolves, a lot of work still to do. Edwards, deep three over Kleba, and he connects. Edwards gets into the paint, and how tough was that?
That was really tough. I mean, he's sandwiched between two defenders.
Bullock out of the corner, and the Timberwolves get a stop.
You see the big cat line one up and knock it down like that. That's a confidence builder.
Edwards into the paint, and one. And Minnesota's got it back to a three-point game. Towns taps it, Beverly gets it down, and Beverly gets a three away, and he hits it. They're not going to give it to him. The foul before, the foul on the floor before.
As soon as Patrick Beverly touched the basketball, Luka fouled him.
Misses to one side. Towns.
He had more time.
And that's going to close it out. Well, it's been a full calendar year plus since the Timberwolves last beat the Phoenix Suns, and all it took that time was Karl Anthony Towns and Anthony Edwards both going for 40 plus. What will it take tonight against the team with the NBA's best record?
Minnesota's won 6 in a row here.
All alone in the corner is Edwards. And Monty Williams has seen enough. He needs a timeout.
The thing you see about Mikal Bridges is the length of his arms. So switching situation with Torrey Craig here, but
Torian Prince. That was nifty.
It really was. People were comparing DeAndre Ayton to David Robinson when he was coming out of Arizona. Bahamian product, by the way.
You know, Jim, when he played at Arizona and when he was in high school, he could also shoot the three. He hasn't done much of that in the NBA. He's only taken 16 attempts this season. And speaking of threes, Anthony Edwards has his second trifecta of the night. By the way, back to the threes, Jim. How about Minnesota now? With 8 more tonight, they've made 1,089 on the season, make it 1,090
by the way,
on the season.
And they've also got 22 attempts up already, too.
Towns goes to work, gets it to rattle in. By the way, it's worth noting, Jim, before the ball was inbounded, the Timberwolves were assessed a delay of game warning. Anthony Edwards connects. A 15-4 run by Phoenix.
Yeah, Minnesota's got to get some energy back in this building, and that's the way you do it. Anthony Edwards should have been an and one. What an attack.
Timberwolves trying to win for 7th straight time on their home floor. The Suns are trying to win for a 5th straight time on the road. Edwards connects and hits.
Man, how about that degree of difficulty?
Timberwolves facing their biggest deficit of the game. Edwards takes some contact and finishes. Edwards dumps it inside for Reed.
The double clutch.
Beasley drills the triple. That was big out of the timeout. Wolves played well, but they didn't play well enough to win. 125-116 is going to be the final here in downtown Minneapolis, as the Phoenix Suns have won 11 straight games on the road in the Western Conference. Well, downtown Boston, it has not been friendly to the Minnesota Timberwolves for the last 16 plus years. It's been 17 years since the Timberwolves last won a game in Boston. They'll try and end that drought here tonight. Edwards feeds Vanderbilt inside. He's already got 2 dunks.
Peyton Pritchard, by the way,
he's a bulldog on defense.
Tremendous defender.
Yes, he is. Going to be a chance for an and one here, and an and one for Edwards. Wolves fighting for the basketball. They come up with it. Noel back to Edwards. Back to Jalen Noel. The 3 is good. And the Timberwolves showing some signs of life here. Edwards. Gives it up for Noel, and Jalen connects.
Yeah, when you get an open shot against the Celtics defense, you better take it.
That's not uncharted waters as far as the Celtics are concerned. This is the 6th straight game in which they've led by at least 20 points. And Vanderbilt off the turnover. The Timberwolves start the second half on a positive note.
That's a good start.
Timberwolves and Celtics, the teams with the 2 best records since the All-Star break. Edwards gets one to go from outside the arc. Edwards sizes up Grant Williams and cashes in from outside. So making a 9-0 run for Minnesota. Edwards, 4-3, drills it, and Ant's got 3 threes since the last time out.
Grant Williams got the start in this game, but watching them play, Dave, over this last 4-game road trip and then the game against Utah, Al Horford, has been durable. He's played a lot of games. This game he took off tonight for personal reasons. He's not missed a game since Christmas time.
Neesmith from outside, a little bit too strong. Russell comes down with the rebound. Jim, ordinarily you'd hope, well, maybe the team that has the big lead might get a little bit comfortable and give you an opportunity to come back in the game. But the Celtics, they've not had a propensity for getting comfortable when they've had these leads. They have kept the pedal to the metal. Edwards gets the screen from Reed. Shot clock getting low. And Ant able to get a finish at the rim. Edwards fading away and hits.
It's a thing of beauty right there.
And the Timberwolves have it down under 20. Edwards tracks it down in the corner, fires and connects. Ant's got 24 now in the game. Well, that's going to close it out. The sold-out crowd here in Boston loving what they see as the Celtics win for the 24th time in their last 28 games. Well, the Timberwolves' regular season-ending road trip continues tonight north of the border in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and a game that is very, very important for both of these teams. The Timberwolves, if the season ended today, they'd be in the play-in tournament against the Clippers. The Raptors, meantime, they're trying to improve their seeding in the Eastern Conference. And both of these coaches, Nick Nurse and Chris Finch, they know the enormity of this game. Timberwolves control the opening tip on offense first. Patrick Beverley, and that's a good sign. Pat Bev had only hit 3 of his last 15 over this 4-game stretch in which the Timberwolves went 1-3. It's his first one tonight.
This morning, everybody shoots, Dave, for the fine money at shoot-around. Chris Finch hit the shot, and then D'Angelo Russell came in.
Yeah, and it's two-tie, all-tie.
And
so
if it's two-tie, the all-tie. It's the throwdown.
Ant did not have a made field goal in the first meeting between these two teams. It was the first time in his NBA career that happened. You mentioned, Jim, how similar these teams are.
Yeah.
Really not that surprising considering how similar the coaches are. Nick Nurse and Chris Finch are such good friends, and Karl Anthony Towns. Nick Nurse does not have a Karl Anthony Towns. Kim Birch shoots 77% from the free throw line, missed them both, but then Edwards gets stripped to the basketball. McLaughlin takes it back for the Wolves. Vanderbilt into the corner. Edwards waiting for the 3. Oh, yes, he can get it to go.
That's a friendly rim down here at the center of the floor.
Say that again. Edwards answers back from downtown.
Great drawn kick by Karl Anthony Towns. The patience between Towns and Edwards that time was fantastic. Go ahead, Karl.
Great defense. Here come the Wolves. McLaughlin splits between the defenders. Edwards for 3, and he's got another.
Right back at you. Great job by Towns and Edwards. Wow, what a block by Ant. Should be a jump ball right here.
It is a jump ball. By the way, going back to Ant, Jim, 3 triples tonight. That moves him to 200 for his season this year and becomes the youngest player to get to 200 made threes in a season ever. Toronto's right in the middle of the pack for three-point percentage on the season. 35% on the nose, as you said, Jim. And the other thing about this team, though, is that they certainly have the guys who can get hot, like the Timberwolves, like Anthony Edwards. So sometimes you got to throw that number away. Shot clock down to 5. Beverly sidesteps for the three. No. Towns the offensive
Someone's
rebound.
got to be wide open. I mean, three people are guarding Towns.
Beverly was saying he got fouled. No whistle. Dumps it off for Edwards. Edwards finds Vanderbilt inside. That was not great spacing, but somehow they made it work.
You're right about that.
Edwards. That ends what was an 8-0 run for the Raptors.
Minnesota's bench has saved them a number of times this year. Anthony Edwards knocks down the three. Nice screen by Taurean Prince to free him up.
They're shooting 67% from outside the arc.
We've seen some Golden State Warrior fiascos where they've knocked out shots at this rate.
Edwards spins. And Ant connects. Edwards takes it away. Ant in the open floor with the stuff. And Toronto solidifying its hold on the 6th spot right now in the Eastern Conference standings. They hold the Timberwolves to just 42 points in the second half. Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, site of the biggest game of the season for the Minnesota Timberwolves. They absolutely have to have this one to keep the pressure on the Denver Nuggets as the season enters the home stretch. Barton misses and Vanderbilt comes up with a rebound out to Beverly. And how about the alley-oop connection from Ant to Cat?
Karl Anthony Towns has been dunking on people on a regular basis over the past 15 games.
Towns. Edwards behind the back to Cat. Corner three, yes.
Put that on the highlight reel.
What a start for Karl Anthony Towns. Edwards gets into the scoring party. First player other than Russell and Towns to get points tonight.
JaMychal Green throws that one down.
JaMychal Green didn't play the last 2 games. He had a wrist issue.
I know, we found that out because Scott Hastings went viral as Towns knocks down the triple. I mean, you see Naz Reid and Taurean Prince come. As soon as Bones Highland sees both of them committing to him, he knows the lob dunk is there. Naz Reid knocks down the triple from above the break. They're top of the circle.
Wolves 5 of 8 from outside the arc. Jokic averages 26.5, so he's going to blow past that tonight. Towns delivers on the 3.
And that's where Karl just is such a huge separator.
McLaughlin. Bones Highland comes up with it. Edwards trying to battle for it, knocks it free. Reid with the, Prince with the flush. Edwards. Wolves really need him to get to the party. Just 4 points in the game. Finds Beasley for 3. And Malik's starting to heat up. He's got 10.
That's why they miss Malik Beasley. Possessions just like that. They're doing all of this, Minnesota is, by the way, with Anthony Edwards 1 of 10 from the game.
And for 3, drills it. Right on cue, Jim Peterson.
They just needed a little bit of help from him because other guys have really stepped up in this game.
Towns finds Edwards underneath, had it poked free. Shot clock down to 5. Jokic is on Ant. Edwards step back for 3, and he drills it. Right in the face of the MVP.
Anthony Edwards never, ever loses confidence. It's a big possession for Minnesota here.
Edwards has Barton on him.
They got Ant all hemmed up.
Prince gets it back to Edwards, and Ant with the finish inside. And what a great dime by Prince. Towns. Edwards. And Ant has come alive.
Anthony Edwards has been just sublime here in the 4th quarter.
The 6 steals for Bev tie his career high, and Edwards has 13 points in this quarter. Yeah. Timberwolves knock it free, and that's going to close it out. What a win here tonight in the Mile High City. Man. It is literally the end of the road for the Timberwolves here tonight in Houston. Their final road game of the regular season as they look to try and dispense of the Houston Rockets here on their home floor.
Houston also gets to the free throw line at a high rate as Malik Beasley knocks down the corner three. Nice pass by Edwards that time.
Timberwolves get a stop. Towns with the rebound. His first board of the game. Edwards steps back and connects.
Anthony Edwards didn't hit his first shot against Denver until the 5-minute mark of the first quarter, and didn't make another shot until the 6:25 mark of the fourth quarter. And boy, once he hit that one, Dave, it was lights out for Minnesota.
Porter Jr., no, off the contest by Towns, who gets the rebound.
We've seen that so many times with Ant, where he's kind of like not started off hot. But when he starts off hot, you're in trouble.
Alperen Şengün, the native of Turkey, getting a lot of minutes for Stephen Silas's team to close out this season, as Edwards is just red hot. Edwards sniffs it out, and Ant takes it the distance for the flush.
That's the Anthony Edwards that we know.
Knicks misfires. Reed with the rebound. Ant leading the charge, and will take it himself. His first points in the second quarter.
I love the floater.
And now the Timberwolves force Houston to give it up again. Edwards drills on the triple.
Is he going to tell Stephen Silas to call a timeout like he did in game one? Those have not gotten many stops, though.
Well, Jim, this might be another one of those games where they give up 130 and win. Because they might score 150 by the way this is going. Anthony Edwards adds 2 more for Minnesota.
Karl-Anthony Towns dealing from the middle of the floor. You're right about Jayshawn Tate. It was Ball, Sadiq Bey, Anthony Edwards, Halliburton, and Jayshawn Tate in that first team. That's spectacular for a guy, as you said, he was undrafted. As Ant gets that to go. Unbelievable slow down change of pace by Anthony Edwards.
Edwards doesn't look any worse for wear. Oh, I think Ant is just fine. Anthony Edwards down the middle with the flush.
The reaction by Taurean Prince says it all. And given the chain of events, I don't think it's on Taurean. You can't see Taurean shot.
Can't get enough looks at this, though.
The Hezo, he absolutely froze Şengün that time.
Jayshawn Tate able to finish inside.
Not that posting up Jayshawn Tate is a mismatch, but you know what I'm saying. You got action right, and then Towns forces the double team and swing to the open three-point shooter. Towns comes to the party as well.
His first made 3 of the game. Still no time announced for the game on Sunday. That's not likely to be announced until the end of the week, as the NBA wants to try and set up the final day as competitively as possible in terms of teams that need to win, and they want a lot of those games to be played at the same time. Edwards able to get up to 25 now in the game. Oh, Vanda with the dunk being fed by Edwards. Go get it, birthday boy. Matthews misfires. Edwards for 3, and Ant 4 triples in the game. And that last 3 by the Wolves did set that record. Now they're extending their run tonight, and another triple by McLaughlin. No love out of our truck for clutch, though. Dave Dittman did not give him.
Completely ignored it.
Well, this game probably not going to Springfield with you, though. But it does go in the win column. The Timberwolves, they count that final bucket. So the final 139-132.
Porzingis alone in the corner.
He's not shot a lot of attempts from the corners. Better from above the break, no doubt. Really good in pick and pop action, too. He's not shot the ball from outside the arc well this season. Better as a Washington Wizard, however.
Karl-Anthony Towns has shot it well from outside the arc. Towns slings it out to Edwards. He'll take the 3, guarded by Kispert. Offensive rebound, Towns, and off the glass for 2.
How about the unselfishness of Karl-Anthony Towns? It was a great find initially off the bounce.
Edwards has it. 1 for 2 from the field so far. Takes the contact and finishes. Towns draws the double team, kicks it out to Ant. who gives it up to Russell, D'Angelo Russell.
How about that play by Marnie? The kick out by Towns. Anthony Edwards had someone close out to him. The pump fake, he was wide open at the elbow. Could have shot that shot, but he found the open player. Good to great.
Edwards. Anthony Edwards, just a couple of dribbles and one elevation.
Oh, man.
Russell on the back door. Edwards puts it home.
And my spies tell me that Rui Hachimura's mom and dad are here at Target Center watching him play his first NBA game.
Incredible. Edwards goes high off the glass. Towns, a lot of contact. Boy, did he fall hard again, but gets right back up.
And there's that man, Jordan McLaughlin, making it happen. Going inside the tall timber, taking it away from two Washington players and getting it out to Minnesota for an open three-point shot.
Edwards gets himself free. Nice job of Anthony Edwards to just keep looking for the open space. Edwards drives the lane and gets two off the glass. 132-114, the Wizards knock off the Timberwolves tonight. Today was supposed to be opening day at Target Field for the Twins, but that game was pushed back until tomorrow, and you can see why. The Wolves are just fine playing indoors at Target Center tonight. They'll be looking for a season sweep against the San Antonio Spurs. Anthony Edwards takes it right into Jakob Poeltl, and Ant scores. 3 on the shot clock. Edwards makes his move, stops, up and over the top of Jakob Poeltl. And you love to see the early aggression from Edwards.
Wow. What
Edwards.
a take.
Yep, right to the cup for Anthony Edwards.
Is that powerful?
Jones will reset. Vanderbilt just stuck his arm out and intercepted the pass. Edwards gets set behind the three-point line and cashes in the three.
How about that?
3 points off turnovers quickly for Minnesota. Jordan McLaughlin and Jaden McDaniels check in for the Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards finishes with the left hand and one. Edwards, immortality from top of the key.
Over this 10-game stretch for San Antonio, when they've gone 8-2, Richardson's been huge for them scoring the basketball. Very aggressive. Naz Reid knocks down the slot three.
And he's got such a nice-looking soft
He really
shot.
does, but it's so much better when he shoots corner threes versus when he shoots from above the break. The splits are pretty significant.
Now Edwards sees Noel in the corner, and Jalen Noel knocks down the three.
All of a sudden, Jalen Noel's got 9 points in the game.
Towns finds Edwards cutting to the basket, and 2 more for Anthony Edwards, his first points since his 15-point first quarter. Towns left all alone on the wing for 3, and he'll catch that one in. And Timberwolves fans have kind of had a front row seat on the differences of drop coverage, especially when you have, oh my goodness, Anthony Edwards just hopped up and slammed that one down.
I mean, he just posterized Trey Jones that time.
Edwards picks up the dribble, gets it to Towns. And now Towns back to Edwards and turns the corner, turns it on.
Anthony Edwards, 7 for 7 in the painted area.
Edwards off the screen from Towns will hit the three-pointer.
Yeah, Chris Finch had to bring Anthony Edwards back into the game. He sat him down at the 5-minute mark, so he didn't spend much time on the bench.
Edwards lost the defense, did a little hesitation on the dribble. Looked like he was going to be content to pass it out to a teammate, but the defense left him. Edwards step back, three-point try. He hits it. He's got 32. Minnesota starts the fourth quarter up 15 on the Spurs. Oh, what a crossover by Edwards, and the finish. A beautiful play from Anthony Edwards, who has 35 points. Edwards steps to the side and hits it again. Edwards is on a lot of those lists of
Yes, he
under
is.
20 because he came into the league so young.
Right, but there's a lot of guys that have been in that category.
2
He scores
more.
again.
With the left hand high up the glass.
He does a great job of engaging with the fans.
Yes! And they love it. Oh, he got through traffic.
It's unstoppable.
Jordan McLaughlin is 10 of 14 from 3 over his last 5. And add one more to that. Back-to-back threes for McLaughlin. And that'll end it for the Timberwolves. A scare against the Spurs as we got down to the final minutes of this game. Anthony Edwards with a career-high 49 points, and the Timberwolves take care of their end of business. They win it by 6, 127-121.
The LA Clippers are in the 8th slot. The Minnesota Timberwolves are 7th in the West. The winner secures a playoff slot tonight, and they will take on Memphis. The loser has another chance to make the playoffs with a home game on Friday. Now here is Morris. Anthony Edwards will defend, and the first shot goes astray with a rebound collected inside by Beverly. And Minnesota goes with Edwards. Second-year player, a high flyer off the glass and in for 2.
Absolute straight athleticism for Edwards. This young man can score with the best of them at the young age of 21.
It's Edwards who got it from Towns.
But that's where he has the advantage with Morris trying to guard him. Use your quickness and your ability to make shots on the perimeter, Kevin.
Edwards 3.
What a start. What a start for Anthony Edwards.
George. And the rebound by the big man inside, Naz Reid, the New Jersey high school star who went to LSU and is now in the NBA, and 8.5 to play in the half with the Timberwolves. Down by 7, and now down by a 35-31 4-point deficit on the 3 by Edwards. Minnesota blazes the other way, and here's Edwards. Reid trying to set a screen. Here's a 3. Look
at this.
He's got 3 of them. 3 threes by Anthony Edwards. Playing with the 2 fouls. George outside. Covington triple. And it's snared in there by Minnesota, and Pat Beverly has come back in with the 3 fouls.
Be careful if you're him.
It's Edwards weaving, driving, crashing, scoring. Oh, he's on fire. 8 points in the second quarter. 15 for the game for Edwards. Timberwolves have gotten 4 second chance points, had none on 26 misses in the first half, and they're number 5 in the league in second chance points. Edwards, it's Beverly 3. Hit the side of the backboard. Towns vacuums it in. It's Edwards, a 3 and good.
The 4th made 3 by Edwards.
Driving George. All kinds of entanglement. Ball was tipped by Edwards. It's fought for. 50-50 ball. Jackson with the shot clock running down. It's snared by McDaniels. Here comes Edwards. Batum in the way. Diving at it, man. 3. Beasley.
It won't go away, right?
It's a 3-point game. Malik Beasley has just knocked in a triple. Here's Edwards. Sees an open door. Drives inside. Ramrodding his way for 2. He's got 22.
He straight told Paul George to get in the weight room on that one, right?
Jackson for the Clippers. McDaniels for the Wolves. Volleyballed up and a rebound by Minnesota. They come the other way, up by 2 and approaching 4 to play. The winner secures a playoff slot and a date with Memphis. Edwards, hold on!
Oh my goodness. Anthony Edwards is starting to grow up in front of our eyes. Look at this. No one comes up to guard him. The Ant-Man. 16-2 Minnesota run.
Edwards thinking 3 and popping a 3.
Step back 3, not just a 3. A step back 3.
Beasley at the stripe. Beverly with some instructions for his team. And a 5-point lead with 6.4 to go. Listen, and picked up by Beverly, and that's all she wrote. The Timberwolves are going to the playoffs.
For the visiting Minnesota Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell, Patrick Beverly in the backcourt, young star Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl Anthony Towns, Rebound knocked away by Vanderbilt. So active on the offensive glass. Here is Edwards connecting on a three.
And if you're going to allow for deflections and offensive rebounds, this is when the Minnesota Timberwolves step up.
Edwards will fire again and hit again, this time along two. Here's Edwards. Pulls up and hits again. Anthony Edwards has the stroke early here in game one. The first pick of the 2020 draft. Here is Beverly weaving, deals it out. Edwards gives it up. Beverly finds the angle and the finish. Strong start for Minnesota, a 10-point lead here in the first quarter of game one. 7-0 Timberwolves run. Russell out after picking up his second. Here is Towns. Yes. Hung up there a while. Took a trip down Beale Street and finally came down.
Yeah, I'm glad he made it.
Here's Towns on the attack. Towns barrels in for the bucket and the foul. A chance for three as Towns just muscled through Steven Adams. And one of the things that Taylor Jenkins talked to us about, Richard, in what he feels like his group learned. Edwards fires it down. Here's Edwards into the paint, floats it up and in, counted, plus the foul. Wow. Anthony Edwards, a chance for three. 5-on-4 for Memphis. Morant swimming to the rim, couldn't finish it off. Edwards, the crossover, acceleration for the finish, plus the foul.
My gracious. He is 6'7", 230 pounds. And watch this crossover left to right, switch it over to the left hand, change your body, split between two defenders twice, and bring it over to his left hand. He is so ridiculously skilled. And then you combine that with the athleticism and the shot. Look, all-stars, multiple all-stars are in his future.
Morant on the attack, has it ripped away by Edwards. And then Edwards a little stare afterwards.
Does a good job. You need three bodies at all times to be either kind of on Ja Morant or focused on him. So when he's able to get deep in your paint, great job by Edwards coming over there.
Minnesota, a 1-point lead, 2 minutes into the third. Edwards again.
It's just like poise. It's just poise. It's timing.
Here's Edwards. Guarded by Clark. Sending away Towns. Edwards. Ooh. Step back mid-range is money. The confidence just dripping off of Anthony Edwards.
Had that skill set, you'd be confident too.
Edwards will fire and hit again. Anthony Edwards with 27. 89 all. FedEx Forum is jumping. Edwards slides inside for two. That's 29 for Anthony Edwards. Morant spinning his way, rejected by Edwards, flagged down by Beverly. Russell, he got it. It's been slow going for D'Angelo Russell, but he loves these moments.
Yeah, just knocked down his first three of the night.
I think this series is going to become the darling of all NBA fans. The athleticism just incredible as Edwards hits another three. He has 34, and the lead is 10 for Minnesota. Beverly, ball fake, three is good. Patrick Beverly connecting on a huge triple. The Minnesota Timberwolves go on the road and steal game one in Memphis. 130-117 the final.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the excitement of the NBA playoffs. From fabulous FedEx Forum on Beale Street in downtown Memphis, Tennessee, it is game two. Minnesota, a 1-0 lead over the Memphis Grizzlies, but the crowds are here at FedEx Forum. It will be loud, it will be raucous, and they'll be waving towels that say, "There's no running in the M." Edwards triggers a three, his first make of the night. Edwards now 1 of 4 from the floor.
Jaron just said he's just such an inspirational guy. He said, I love Xavier. It's my brother. He's a warrior. You see the emotion. See how hard he plays. You see all the things he can do for us. Just so happy for him that he's put it all together. Since we were 15 or 16, we've talked about playing in the NBA. I'm just happy for him. Getting an opportunity, meeting the moment here in game 2.
Edwards down the lane with a score, and Taurean Prince with a steal. And Edwards back-to-back buckets after he checks back in.
Well, listen, when the rhythm of the game is going, the Grizzlies' jump shots start to go down also as Edwards scores, but the Grizzlies will come right back at him.
Jaron against Towns. And the Grizzlies doing something tonight they did not do Saturday afternoon. Make Minnesota uncomfortable. Beasley lays it in. Well, last year the Grizzlies were an 8th seed. They won not 1 but 2 playing games to get into the playoffs proper. Morant got leveled with a screen, and Edwards hits a 3. Dillon for 3. Rebound Towns. Edwards, Towns, McDaniels, McLaughlin, and Noel on the floor for Minnesota. Edwards. Anthony Edwards was 17, his 3rd triple of the game. Bane for 3.
Watch out for a 2-for-1 quick shot here by Edwards.
Like that. Edwards can heat in a hurry. He's got 20. It's final. This series is even at 1 game apiece. 124-96. The Grizzlies over the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Basketball is back in Minneapolis, just the 3rd postseason game here in the last 18 years. John Morant, a near triple-double to lead Memphis to victory in game 2. Karl Anthony Towns and the Timberwolves trying to get back to their game 1 form. It's the NBA on TNT tonight, game number 3. The Grizzlies in Minnesota with this series tied at 1-1. Edwards one-on-one with Zaire Williams. Now a switch. Edwards. Towns didn't expect it. Edwards forced to kick it out. Russell cans it. A long-range hit with the shot clock winding down and a bailout for the Timberwolves. All the way. Russell can't finish it on the scoop. Offensive rebound. Edwards lets it fly. Book it for 3.
Being down at this margin, it's going to be tough for John Morant to pick up 2 fouls in that first quarter. How are you going to monitor him moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys got 2 fouls in that first quarter, so every guy's got to respond when they get on the floor, play aggressive without fouling.
Guys, I talked to Steven Adams this morning. He was very candid. I asked him how is he handling this situation, and I'm going to keep it PG. He said, look, I'm handling it like crap. He said you never want to hear anything like that as a competitor.
Half-court set. Towns with Anderson and Clark there defensively. Swing it. Extra. Edwards sticks it a 3. Bane. Morant going way up, but he couldn't get the tip to go. Beverly to Edwards. Look out. Edwards gliding to the rim for the scoop. Morant taken away. 2-on-1 developing. Edwards shovels. Russell back for Edwards for the jam. Final seconds. Edwards hits the 3. But it's just window dressing at this point. Tremendous resolve shown by the Memphis Grizzlies in this terrific turnaround. They take game 3 in Minnesota, 104-95, and take a 2-1 lead in this opening round series.
Game 4, this best-of-7 first-round series. The 2-seeded Memphis Grizzlies, a 2-1 lead on the 7-seed Minnesota Timberwolves. Edwards on the attack. Lefty lays good. What a finish from Anthony Edwards. Williams had it blocked in the corner by Edwards. Memphis has missed its last 6 shots. A 2-for-1 opportunity. Edwards, oh yeah, to the rim. Morant in the corner, no. Towns the rebound. That was Byron Scott's advice to your Nets team when you did the same thing in 2002 game 3 to the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, go have a drink, go have a glass of wine, do whatever you do. Make this game go away.
And then you guys won 3 straight. Beverly in the corner. Right after the 17-1 Minnesota run. Edwards will fire and hit a big one.
Well, I guess that answers the question who they're going to go to.
Morant inbounds. Tillman looking for help. Brooks with 3 seconds left. Brooks gets denied by Edwards. Got it up, but airmailed it, and that will do it for the first half. Tillman inserted into the starting lineup for this game as Brooks turns it over. Edwards the flick ahead. Vanderbilt pumps it down.
Yo, Vanderbilt's got some low-key, high-level bounce. And this is an organization that has an MVP in Kevin Garnett. They have seen some great basketball. They're just waiting for this team to kind of pick it up, and I think they're in a good space.
Edwards knocks down the 3. Great two-man action with Russell. Another! Anthony Edwards! Not afraid of the moment. Clark was such a massive factor in the Game 3 comeback. Had 20 points, 8 rebounds. Was 6 of 9 from the floor. Memphis had 17 second chance points in the fourth quarter of that game. Edwards, he got it. Second time, Richard, we've seen Russell, the exaggerated ball fake, draw the D and hit Edwards on a 3. Edwards cuts between 2. How about hinge reverse?
With the fillet?
Towns another 3. You bet.
That play right there and that 3 right there might lead to a rule change.
30 for Karl Anthony Towns. Morant into the paint, denied by Edwards. Bain hits the 3. That's it. Minnesota has tied up this first round series at 2 games apiece.
We are in Memphis, Tennessee tonight where the stakes are high. One team will move a step closer to advancing in the Western Conference. The NBA playoffs on TNT. The Timberwolves and Grizzlies deadlocked with a big one tonight at FedEx Forum. Timberwolves have already turned it over a couple of times. 3 possessions, 2 turnovers. Edwards, the cross to the rim, finishes strong. Anthony Edwards going hard to the hole. Brooks comes up short. Another rebound for Karl Anthony Towns. Edwards, little shake and bake. Finishes with a left hand.
Left hand. I'm telling you.
Shot clock at 12. 42-37, Minnesota. No look to Edwards. Drives it in with a left hand. So much confidence for Ant-Man. Edwards defended by Brooks. 10 to shoot. Vanderbilt will set the screen. Switch it out with Clark. Lines it up. Look it. Edwards with a deep hit. Edwards, pull up pop, sticks it. Bain looks for an opening. Brooks fires. Tillman trying to keep it alive, and Towns clears it. Beverly on the move. Edwards sets the feet. He connects for 3. Timeout, Memphis. 101-100, Minnesota, 6 to shoot. Edwards trying to create. Killer crossover for 2. Anthony Edwards can go to another level. Get it in for Towns. Back from McLaughlin. The bounce to the outside. The jumper. Good! It's Edwards! Big time delivery. Tie game with 3.7 left. Brooks, toss it. Morant drives. Morant! Oh, it's good! 1 second left. Ja Morant with the bucket. And that's it. A gutty Grizzly win. Come from behind at home. And Morant is the hero.
And welcome everyone to Minneapolis. There's only one first round series remaining. And it may be the most entertaining series thus far in these NBA playoffs. The Grizzlies and the Timberwolves, 2 young talented teams trying to learn how to win in the postseason. And they'll be fired up tonight here at the Target Center.
Brooks drives inside, scoop layup, that won't go. And here comes Edwards, who said he took responsibility for the Game 5 loss, said he didn't pass the ball enough well at crunch time, took some bad shots, tried to go for a steal on that game winner by Morant. And on his first shot tonight, he gets a bucket.
Edwards gets away from two defenders, gets inside, bank shot is good. There's that strength you were talking about, Jeff. Tillman knocks it away, dives, but can't hold on. Look at that hustle from Bain, picked up by Russell. Tillman in the back, there's only 7 on the shot clock. Edwards has it. Edwards fires up a 3. How about that for a possession? Brooks, a contested three-pointer. High arcing shot won't go. Anderson, the rebound. This is the putback. These were the 2 highest scoring teams in the league during the regular season. They want that pace up as Towns adjusts and finishes with a floater.
Got away with a shove off with that left arm.
Three-pointer misses. Anthony Edwards deflected by Anderson. Edwards, he'll Euro step. McDaniels tries it again. 3 for 3 from downtown. Spark off the bench. Timeout Memphis. Edwards goes right into John Morant, went right at him and scores again. He's in double figures. Beasley was very vocal about not only is this going to be a game 7, they're going to be playing the Warriors as Edwards knocks down the jumper. Edwards 15 points already.
And they're trying to attack John Morant, getting this switch and letting Anthony Edwards just go to work on Morant.
Morant, shot blocked. Edwards with the rejection. Anthony Edwards said it's time to show up. He certainly has here in the first quarter.
Him and his teammates have done an outstanding job in this first quarter defending John Morant. Stellar job.
Anderson to Clark. Edwards got a piece of it. Looked like may have been a foul, and that shot won't go. Clark on the follow. Morant with almost another circus shot, but Clark right there to clean it up. Edwards, three-pointer, puts it in. 19 points already for Anthony Edwards. Edwards drives inside, running layup, banks it home. Oh, the strength of Anthony Edwards. These fans, you wonder if they're thinking all that's gone on in this series. Edwards tries a 3, connects. Anthony Edwards with a big answer.
What a huge shot.
Edwards looking to push it up. He really's got to shoot a 3. Gets inside, layup, bank shot is good. That makes it a 6-point game with 9.3 remaining. You'll love Minnesota still fighting out there. 40-22 the score here in this fourth quarter. Edwards, a three-pointer, that won't go, and that'll do it. The Grizzlies do it again. And they move into the second round for the first time in 7 years.